The Buffalo Bills were back on the practice field for another practice session today. Walkthrough yesterday. No official injury report as of yet. That will be released by the team later this afternoon. Around the NFL, Thursday night football tonight between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kickoff set for 8:20 tonight. Yesterday, the Buccaneers activated receivers Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan from injured reserve. Steelers pass rusher TJ Watt has been admitted to a local hospital as there's further evaluation going on for his lung. The team announcing that earlier today. The Baltimore Ravens reached a 3-year extension with defensive tackle Travis Jones worth a total of $40.5 million. To hockey, game night for the Buffalo Sabres. They'll take on the Vancouver Canucks tonight. The Sabres are still looking for their first regulation win on the road this year, while also trying to build off of Tuesday night's victory against the Edmonton Oilers. Alex Lyon in the starter's net at practice today. Josh Norris was not on the ice. He was out on Tuesday due to an illness. Puck drop for Sabres and Canucks set for 9 o'clock tonight. Pregame will get started here at 8 on WGR. This holiday season, we are kicking off Mission Give Where You Live to benefit Buffalo City Mission, powered by NYSEG. Going on now through December 19th, you can donate brand new sweatshirts, sweatpants, hats, gloves, scarves, and non-perishable food items to help keep our community warm and fed. Just stop by any Dash's Market location and drop your donation off in the Mission Give Where You Live donation bin. If you're shopping online, you could still give through the Buffalo City Mission's Amazon wish list. It's sponsored by the Barnes Firm and Dash's Market. Get all the details at WGR550.com. This update's brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet, celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Derek Kramer for WGR Sports Radio 550.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
I don't think that's a very good attitude.
It's Mike Schopp.
You don't think? You don't think? I don't think you should be butting in when I'm talking to my team. You're my assistant, okay? You're supposed to back me up and go get me juice boxes when I tell you. Now go get me a juice box. You know who you're talking to.
It's the Bulldog.
I'm talking to the juice box guy. You're crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm just thirsty. Why don't you go to hell? No, you go to hell. While you're there, why don't you grab me a juice box? I'm no juice box boy, I'll tell you that. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you
it's
are.
Mike
I'm not.
Schopp and the Bulldog on WGR Sports Radio 550.
Maybe it's been long enough, or this person is so long ago relevant that it should be pointed out. That's Mike Ditka with
sure.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, right.
Do we know who that is? Mike Ditka? Was he a good coach? A great coach? A bad coach? What was Mike Ditka for you as a coach? 3 nicknames, by the way.
Iron Mike.
Iron Mike. The other 2 are so funny. Not even anywhere near where I would have gone.
The Mini Ditkas is from the SNL skit.
Yes. The Doctor.
What?
The Doctor.
The Doctor.
And MD.
Huh.
That's why he's the Doctor, because MD are his initials.
Oh, okay.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe. That
Michael Keller Ditka, age 86.
That makes sense.
Formerly known as Michael Ditchko Jr. Changed his name?
All right. What's he hiding?
Maybe that's not one of his nicknames?
Said
Michael Ditchko?
Said the man whose family 2 generations ago changed the last name to Parker from Parzinski.
And now your kids are literally named the Bulldog Jr. or whatever you're going, whatever their
I don't know what's
their
there.
front is. Was he good?
I mean, he had
winning record or losing record all time?
Oh, I'll bet losing record all time.
Winning.
Yeah.
121 and 95.
Oh, that's not even that close. I mean,
it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I think he certainly was. I mean, he's the head coach of one of the greatest team. That 85 Bears team was a machine. I think
legendary.
I think that qualify. If you're the coach of a legendary team, I think you qualify as a great coach.
Oh, just like that?
Yeah, I think
1
so.
year.
I think you're the head coach of a legendary team. You're great.
So who does that include? Who are the legendary teams? George Seifert? Brian Billick?
Yeah.
Brian Billick is good.
Talk to the tech guy. Can we rewind?
Brian Billick
Is there a way we could?
Was the head coach of, I think, a team I would call legendary.
Yeah, that same way that Bears team, right? It's that Ravens team. It's all funny. Billick is like an offensive guy.
They both were offensive guys, sort of. I mean, Ditka was a tight end.
I mean, unless you want to ding Ditka because Buddy Ryan is the architect of the defense and the defense is the. Yeah, I might want to reel that back in because I don't
want to ding Ditka.
Yeah. Okay.
9 years as a Dallas assistant, special teams / receivers.
All right.
And then 11 years as the Bears head coach. I hope Joe Ostrowski is listening. He'll be on with us, I think, hopefully in 25 minutes. And sometimes Joe listens, as Sam does at the beginning.
Just get a lay of the land.
I wonder, would Joe say...
He's a great coach.
He's a legend. Was he a great coach? But you say all that's necessary is to have coached a legendary team. So that includes Ditka. That includes, I think, Brian Billick.
Yeah, I think so.
Does that include Dick Vermeil?
Yes. I think Dick Vermeil's...
I might say he's great anyway.
I think he's an all-time great coach.
Okay, good.
Yes. Because he had more success... than just that like Ditka really is that pocket within the Bears Super Bowl year. And then, what does he most know? He's, his personality became so outsized that he's more known for that than he really is. It's easy to forget he was an incredible he was a great tight end in that era.
He had that rookie year that we kept pointing back to when Kincaid was drafted.
Right.
Like the biggest rookie tight end season ever, but that might have been broken.
Sure.
Even Kincaid, but then also
but still,
Bowers.
He set a pretty high bar for like way back then. But, he's mostly trading his whole draft and the photos with Ricky Williams in the wedding dress and all the stuff. Like, he kind of became Rex before Rex was Rex.
Oh, interesting.
Which is funny that Buddy Ryan was with him in Chicago, of course, in that
Rex's
legendary
dad.
defense. Yeah, Rex's dad. So he kind of became almost like a caricature, kind of.
Definitely.
Right, but...
And then lots of TV work.
Right. I still think I want to go great, but I don't feel comfortable including Billick in that for some reason.
Well, you got to figure out your formula.
And maybe that's entirely because Billick isn't the outsized personality that Ditka is, which doesn't really make sense, and that's why I want the whole thing back.
Wasn't Billick a tight end too, or a receiver?
I don't remember what his...
I think he was. San Francisco staff.
Was.
The Holmgren tree or the Walsh or Seifert tree, I think, is Billick also. Wasn't he on our show once?
Billick, yes.
Yeah. One time? When he was with CBS?
At least, yes, that's it then. I know I might have talked to him back when I worked in mornings too.
What's he doing? What's a guy like that doing?
I don't know.
Ditka was on my last show once. You ever talk to him? You know my Ditka story?
I'm not sure I do. I'm also not sure I ever talked to him, but we both had experiences with a producer that would just fill the show with guys like that.
Which was incredible.
Right. He had access to those guys. This is Doug Young, who worked here for a long, long time, and I only worked with Doug briefly, a few years.
You would get to work. This literally is a true example.
This is a bygone era.
You would get to work. I was on 2 to 6 in my last job. So I would get in. I was young, so I probably got in like noon. And there would be a piece of paper on my keyboard with today's, like for the last forever. I sort of do this, but mostly for myself. You trust me to sort of, whatever, navigate or whatever it would be called. Doug would put a piece of paper on my keyboard at work with who we had on and when.
Yep.
And like one day I sit down, I look at the piece of paper, and it's like Lord Byron Nelson is on today, the golf legend. And okay. You sort of work around.
Right.
That.
Yeah, it wasn't like, hey, I need a guy because I'm going to be talking about golf today. We just I guess I'm going to talk about some golf today because I've got Byron Nelson on the show today.
You're going to tell me who's coming on, and I'll do it.
Right.
I mean, it was always great.
Yeah.
But Ditka, one day it was Ditka. And even, this is not how people think of him. They think of, like you said, caricature. He's a football legend. Come on. But he said something that I've never forgotten that was, to me, very profound, which was, he's in TV. This is 2001 maybe. Like, he's in TV, and I asked him, what are your plans? What do you want to do? And whatever the question exactly was, he got around to saying, you just can't go play golf every day.
Right. Yes, I remember this. Yes.
And I just thought that was really, really profound. Like, here was a guy, I'm looking at his career now. He was the Saints coach at age 60. Think about it. It's a little bit old. 1999. McDermott is 51.
Careful.
Oh, sorry. Right. So but this is when we start. I don't want to say the wrong thing. So he's in his early 60s.
Please. I can handle it. Yeah.
He's in his, and this could be like what you say in a couple of years. I know this story about Mike Ditka. He just can't play golf every day.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, he did a lot of TV after that. I don't know what he does day to day. He's 86. How about this on Mike Ditka? Like, it's 10 minutes.
Funny enough, I can still work here and play golf almost every day if I wanted to. So I
you get best of both worlds.
I do occasionally get asked by people I end up randomly paired up with, like, so are you retired or what? No.
You do.
It's 10:30 in the morning, and I don't have to be at work for a couple hours yet, so I'm all good.
Michael Ditchko Jr. Wonder if Joe knows that. That's his, original name, real name? Interesting. Mike Ditka is a great name. Chicago had Mike Ditka and Dick Butkus. Two great figures and great names.
Mustaches.
We'll talk to Joe Ostrowski at 3:30.
Chicago's got to be the best mustache city in America.
Joe is excited about the guy who the White Sox are expected to pick 1 overall in the baseball draft because he has a Polish name. Rock something.
I can get behind
Rock
that.
Ostrowski or something like that.
Jasinski
is his name.
Yeah, I love it.
And Sam was like, you just like him because of his name. And Joe's like, damn right.
Right. You're talking to a guy whose dad was excited when the Bills drafted Posluszny. It's just okay, they drafted the Polish linebacker. Let's go.
What's he doing?
Tonight we ride. Okay, Dad, that's awesome.
So we'll talk Week 15 with Joe. This game, Bills-Patriots, how big is it? 1 to 10.
I think it is bigger for, I want to say vibes. You know what I mean? It's bigger for the morale of the fan base, I think, than it is really in the standings.
The fans need the Bills to prove they can beat New England?
I think with Drake May and Mike Vrabel, yeah.
Okay.
If you're going to feel good about taking them down, should you meet them in the playoffs? Not that it's not like New England spanked them or anything. It was a sloppy game from the Bills, and they lost on a late field goal. So it's not like you were run out of the gym or something when you played them. But still, they're on this win streak. They have a chance to win the division with a win, to clinch it anyway. Their chances of winning it without winning this game are still pretty great. But nonetheless, I feel like we'd like to see, at least for a week, even if it doesn't represent leapfrogging them in the standings, some semblance of order restored. All right, you got us in Week 5. You're having a year here. Very few people saw it coming. You're out front. We're been chasing you since Week 6. And let's just hey, you know what? We're still around. All right, the champs aren't just going down without a fight. You're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to beat the Jets and the Dolphins. We're not just going away on you. And I feel that, but in reality, within the standings, they're not in much danger of. I don't think they can even fall out of a playoff spot if they lose the game. Maybe they can. I haven't studied that yet. Mm-hmm. But they're
over 90%.
Right. They're in such a strong position already that it doesn't feel like it'd be that damaging to the wild card hopes. Of course, it kills the division and the 1 seed and all that. And eventually, I think we'll talk ourselves into that being a positive. Because I don't have to go as hard because I'm not trying to win the division. It's got to make sure I keep, Indianapolis and Houston or Kansas City, whatever. The teams at Miami, even the teams that are behind us now, just keep them behind us and I'll be all right. I think that's how it'll realistically be in my head if they lose. But I like
No, go ahead.
But I do feel everything I just said about the, just don't roll over and let them get the T-shirts and the hats on Sunday. We're better than you. We have been better than you. We still are. And yeah, you may win the division, but this is going to be a fight.
Sorry for that noise.
Okay.
I just had a thought very quickly. So I have not been using like a playoff odds app or website. And the one that I know of the most, I like the playoff machine, but as you're talking, like for me to figure out sort of what this game could mean to the Bills in the playoff chase if they lose, well, I'd have to put in, 20 results or something like that. The one that I like is the New York Times, the playoff simulator from the New York Times. And once in a while over the years, like you can go to that link and it'll work, but usually it tells you have to subscribe. And I just remember, the noise was, I just remembered that I did subscribe on Monday because I play all the puzzles now.
Right.
So I now have legit access to the play. What do you want to know? The playoff simulator. The Bills are 98%. 98%.
Right. So how damaging can a loss to New England
right now to make the playoffs? That is, if I asked you, okay, I'm thinking of a state. And if you got it, that's 2%. If you didn't, that's 98%. If you got the state, I'm thinking of a U.S. state. Want to play? All right, let me think. I know them all. I want to make sure I don't pick a state you would assume that I would be thinking of. Okay, I'm ready.
Montana.
Indiana.
Yeah.
So the Bills are in the playoffs. We can do this 50 times if you want. I was thinking Indiana. So 98%, what are you worried about? What happens if I'll find out. I'll get into this. I'll dig into this.
I mean,
get my hands dirty.
There are, Houston and Indianapolis are both a game behind. Indy's got Seattle with maybe Phillip Rivers playing quarterback on Sunday. So, thoughts and prayers. And they've got a buffer there because Houston's in, Indy's out right now in the standings.
If the Bills lose, Bulldog.
Yep.
96%.
Okay. So
now I have to think of two states.
Okay.
And if you guess them wrong both times, then they're in.
Okay.
We don't need to play that again, but
Montana.
I hadn't thought of one. Maybe it was going to be Montana. 96% if they lose to New England. What are their chances of winning the AFC East if they beat New England? Not great. They still need.
Can you?
I'll get sure.
Can you access that in the New York Times playoff machine? I am not. Can you tell? I am not playoff machine guy.
If they win,
I feel like I have you for you're my playoff machine.
This game
sucks when you're not here.
I know, right? I'm paying $1 a week for this.
I could have given you a password. I was just trying to that long ago.
Like that. I don't work like that. No, I would refuse. If they beat New England, they are 24% to win the division. Right now, they're 11. So better, but they still will need New England to lose to the Dolphins or the Jets to have any chance. And they'll have to beat Philadelphia and, Cleveland and the Jets.
Yep.
Or New England will need to lose 2 games, I think, in there. It's not what people mean when they call a game a trap game, even though a trap game has been disproven, but people still say it all the time. Oh, it's a game where you're looking ahead to the following week, which players, I think, almost never do. You're just on the rails going for this week. This is who you're preparing for. All of it is sort of in the now. But, trap game, sort of it's a fun narrative, kind of, I guess, makes sense. This actually is a trap game in a different sense, which is that it feels way bigger than it really is.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I meant.
Yeah.
Right? It's really all about how we feel out here more than it is seeing them in 7th instead of 6th after Sunday. and seeing their playoff odds dinged by 2% or something. Like, it's not that big a deal, but I think it'll feel worse than that because you will have lost twice to that quarterback with their fancy new coach, and now they've won 11 in a row, and it's just like what am I dealing with here? Am I dealing with the Chiefs early in Mahomes' career? Are they that good? Is he that good? Like, it's going to start to feel, like they're some super team, and I think we know already that they're not. I mean, I guess they could just win them all from here to all the way to February, and then I'd have to shut up about that. But I just don't think that that's likely at all.
I think they're good.
I definitely think they're good.
And I don't care really at all about May's lack of experience. Like, I'm not assuming at the least that he's going to crack under whatever pressure this is because of how he plays. I mean, they have had a very easy schedule, but he plays in a pretty composed way, and he can move, he can put the ball on the spot, like he does the job. And so I'm not expecting him to freak out once the playoffs arrive or even whatever Sunday is. Mm-hmm. I'm not betting against May in that way. The Bills are going to have to score. Right. I mean, New England can probably run on them. They really didn't in the first game, but most teams can. Like, I think there's that to think about or worry about. There's how May is doing, how he plays. There's that. Whether that's going to be Diggs again or Hunter Henry or whoever, like Kayshon Boutte is a fun name. Like, whoever it's going to be for the Patriots, I guess that's part of the success they're having is that's not really predictable or has not been predictable. But I'm not expecting this guy to crash under the waves of playoff pressure. We did this yesterday, and I really like the coach's point that we talked about for a minute. Like, that is maybe, if you will, the theme going into these playoffs is unproven quarterbacks, all of them, except for Allen and I guess whoever wins the AFC North at 9-8. And they're still proving to do if you're Lamar Jackson, I would say. But mostly the whole field is, can this guy win? Everything in football is like quarterback narrative stuff. This guy won a Super Bowl, all of that. So that's what Allen and the Bills are facing because they're the one team, if it's not Baltimore, going into the playoffs with experience, and most of it is positive. It's just not when it comes to Mahomes.
Right.
Those games. I mean, they did lose to the Bengals the one time, but still, like, they're going to be the team. It's ironic, isn't it? Like, the Bills could go into the playoffs as the team, the AFC anyway, with the playoff experience that we like about them. Mm-hmm. Even though if Kansas City is sitting there, or, I don't know, not Baltimore, but Cincinnati, I guess would suffice.
Sure.
Then that isn't quite going to be the talking point. Well, not trying to tell you shouldn't listen to the game on Sunday. I mean, I would
right.
not want to do that.
Right.
1:00 post-game should be great.
It's just, I think we're playing for feelings more than we're playing for the standings on Sunday. And look, I'm not here to talk down about feelings. I'm a feelings guy. I want to feel some happiness. I'd like to feel some confidence that I can get to this kid. I don't think he's going to crack, but I could still make him make a bad play or two if I can get him under some duress. I'm really curious about the point about the whether they can run it or not. The Bills have been on a heater in that department since Shaq Thompson's been a more regular part of their defense, and like I don't know, like I can overstate that. It's like, I don't know, he's just one linebacker, but they have been better at that. Like, Pittsburgh certainly wanted to do that to them and couldn't. The Bengals, I think, gave up on it. They couldn't really do it, and so there's no shame in leaning on Joe Burrow. But I even said yesterday, like, if they could run the ball when they had a lead, maybe the Benford play never happens. Maybe they're handing it off and trying to run some clock and nursing their lead. And if they're getting 5 or 6 yards a clip, like we saw earlier in the year against Atlanta, then they're probably handing it off. But they really, I don't think they were wrong to feel like by that point in the game, that's not really working for us today. And this is. So let's just keep leaning into Joe, and it bit them.
It's really not who they are, I would say. Like in that playoff game with Mixon, they did do that, and that worked. Chase Brown is fine, but he's not like sort of the traditional, I don't want to say bell cow like everybody does, but like the bigger, control the game in the snow running back. But yeah, point taken. We will talk to Joe Ostrowski from Bet Sweats, the Bet MGM network, after a break. Sal joins us at 4 today. Paul Hamilton at 6. Thanks for listening. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. Don't forget the line at 4:45.
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
This is WGR.
Bulldog here for Window Nation. This
Steph, you guys are actually underdogs this Sunday. Is that something you're aware of?
I didn't know that. That's the first time I heard it, but good. I feel like that's good for us. Being an underdog, people like us been an underdog our whole life. We're going to have something to prove regardless of it. But I think the main thing is it gets exciting when you're the underdog, when you got a lot to prove, when you're playing with that edge and you're playing aggressive because nobody nobody believes in us but us. The record is surprising to everybody, and all we did is take it one game at a time, and I think we're going to do the same thing with this one. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, now I'm in. Now I'm ready for this one. Stephon Diggs and his act about how everybody hates him or
nobody believes
disrespects.
in us. Right.
Now you got me. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. Bills a 1-point favorite Sunday in New England. That is interesting. We'll talk about it now with our friend Joe Ostrowski from Bet Sweats, weekday mornings 9 to noon on the Bet MGM network. But before we get into that, we have to talk about wife swap.
Whoa, I was not prepped. Did we miss a meeting?
It's my favorite show. Not wife swap. Joe's show is my favorite show. I never miss it anymore. And they brought up wife swap, and it reminded me of my great late friend Dean. Bulldog knew Dean. And there is this great story from one time he and I and our wives were out together, Joe. And his wife said how we were all talking about like life as kids and, what our parents did or didn't do to us or for us. And his wife said, famously, we never stopped laughing about it until the day he died. She said, my father would only let me watch 3 shows. Sesame Street, The Muppet Show, and The Dukes of Hazzard were the 3 shows. And we all just fell out of our chairs. Like, what is the logic there?
What kind of combination is that?
Why isn't the third show like Jeopardy or something?
Yeah, why is Dukes of Hazzard
The Dukes of Hazzard? So for years thereforth, all we did, he and I, just random text to each other whenever to make each other laugh, would substitute the Dukes of Hazzard for, RuPaul's Drag Race or something.
Yes. Right.
Or Wife Swap. Like, Wife Swap is the joke. Like, that's the show I use in the joke is Wife Swap. And now it's like almost forgotten. Like, you guys today are talking about whether that would be on the air now. Like, is it too tame, Wife Swap? I mean, I don't know how times have changed. But anyway, when you guys talked about that, it took me back.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, I don't know. Is that tame now? I have no idea. I don't know what's socially acceptable. I have no idea. I'm probably constantly offending people. I really don't care right now. Do you guys care? I don't.
Well, I sympathize. I understand you guys are in heading to a transition here. But...
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just
you're talking about everything.
Just in general, right?
The world, yes.
Yeah.
The world we live in. I don't, because sometimes it feels like you're right. We were going, you got to be super safe with everything. If you question it, don't do it. And then kind of took a 180, right? For a little bit. I guess that's a longer conversation, maybe off the air. Well, might piss some people off.
Similar to that, maybe, or just the same, is like Bulldog and I talk about this on and off the air. And I heard it from your show too recently, maybe from yourself or from Sam. Like, in a perfect world, if somebody comes at you with a complaint or a criticism or something, and you can defend yourself, you want to do it. But to do it takes a lot, because then you're sort of doing that in front of everybody,
right.
And then other people come in, and it's not a winning game; it's a losing game,
right?
So there's that, I guess. But that's a lot of things. That's politics. That's at the holidays. At the dinner table or something, you want to defend what's right, But
you also want to
it.
steer to a safer, less divisive lane. Often, I think is
right?
Where you end up, right? So,
take a deep breath.
Yeah,
do I want to go down this road? Do I have the energy right now to deal with all of this and its ramifications?
Yeah.
Probably not. Let's just take a pass and give a hard ignore to that.
Let's just bet Indiana.
Believe me, I could put together a list of grievances off the top of my head that'd be pretty damn long about things that are offending me all the time, but it's just really not worth talking about. So just leave it over there.
Speaking of grievances, is today Festivus? I feel like it's one of these days coming up. It might be today.
Maybe it is.
Joe, can I tell you about the beautiful phone call I got last night from my partner? I don't know if he.
Oh, this is good.
I don't know if you did this knowing Joe was going to be on.
No, I didn't.
But Joe, do you remember? Like we were first getting to know each other. I know it was the last Winter Olympics. I was still in my attic. And we had this gag, and it was grounded in truth. And I'll reveal all right now if you want about how I had an in on the Chinese Olympic hockey team. Like I knew the U.S. was favored by whatever it was, somehow
5.5.
5.5, a big number for a hockey game. And I'm like, you guys, I'm telling you, I got a guy. They're gonna cover. The U.S. has got this.
It was
Chinese,
3.5.
It's just not. They don't have a chance. And last night I was out. My wife and I met up for drinks and dinner after our show, and she was driving. This never happened. I'm in her car, riding in the passenger seat. My phone's in my pocket, and it's ringing. Like, oh man! And her car's. I drive a big old truck. I'm in her passenger seat. I've got to try to get my phone out of my pockets in my front pants pocket. I don't even know if I can get my phone. I pull it out, and it's Mike. I'm like, oh no, right? It's 8:45 or whatever time at night. Like, this can't be good. I hit hello, and the first thing he says is, first of all, let me apologize for calling because there's no emergency.
There's nothing bad.
There's nothing bad happening.
Sorry to scare you.
I'm like, okay, so what's going on? And he's like, I'm just wondering if you can find any intel on U.S.-China curling that's happening tonight at 10 o'clock.
Do you have a guy?
I do have a guy.
USA is about to play China for a spot in the Olympics. Do you have a guy?
I have a guy. And of course, it's tracing back to that call during the Winter Olympics last time. And the reason I knew, just quickly, my friend John Gale has a son, Alex, that lives in China, has worked in sports marketing over there for many years now. And he played pretty high-level hockey as a teenager in Toronto, the best youth league in the world, maybe, right? The GTHL. And he played with a lot of guys that went on to play in the NHL. And he's a pretty good hockey player, but he dropped off at like 15, 16. He just didn't make the next cut, right? Mm-hmm. So he's the guy that at your men's league is really, really good, right? But he's not the guy that can play international hockey. They were like, there was an idea to see if they could get him Chinese citizenship to play on the Chinese team. Is how I remember the story being told to me by John. Okay. And he's like, my friend's son was like, they're not going to be competitive at all. I mean, they thought about me, Dad. You know how good I am. Come on, they're going to get killed. That was my intel,
and it was wrong.
What do you
Wasn't
mean?
it?
No, they covered. No,
well, they covered
China.
it, but they were lucky. Like they didn't have the EV.
Oh, here we go.
Or covering or advanced stats. They
were
covered
lucky.
the bet. They won the bet.
We all won. They lucky.
Won the bet.
Was
we all won
Corsi?
the bet.
Joe, you didn't even know that you didn't have to prepare for today's visit because we're just going to do all the talking. I don't know. Sorry about that.
No, I like it. I like it. I'm waiting for Mike Ditka, good coach or bad coach.
What do you say? I'm glad you were listening. What do you say on Ditka?
I say I would slap me if if I ever thought I'd say this, especially on the air. Bad coach.
Really?
It took me a while to get there. I was a kid in 1985. I was just getting to know late 80s when I was really watching hardcore. But, 6 Hall of Famers on his team. You made it to 1 Super Bowl. I mean, that's my kind of like the Packers takeaway. Look at all these years of great quarterback play, and you won how many Super Bowls? That's kind of what I look at it. And, also you do have to bring up there's other angles to it. Like you look at, you had Montana at that time. It's San Francisco. Washington was phenomenal too, and it was right before Dallas came. It was a tough time, I think, in the NFC. But yeah, for all those Hall of Famers, greatest running back of all time. You have 3 guys on the defensive line in the Hall of Fame. There's Mike Singletary right there. And for my money, Wilbur Marshall next to him is actually even better. Like, everywhere you look, there's a Hall of Fame player. Greatest defense of all time, according to many. I think what happened once Buddy Ryan left, too? Yeah, I don't know, man.
Interesting.
I would lean bad, but, own the city, as big of a star as Michael Jordan, people held on to every word that he said? Absolutely. And one of my earlier jobs in radio is I produced the Mike Ditka show. I was one of the producers on that show, which was like unbelievable. But yeah, later on I realized, and you know how it is in this business. Oh, I love that guy. I wish I didn't just hear that story.
I know.
I wish I didn't know he was a jerk to a lot of people. So yeah, that's part of it too.
It's hard to stay a fan sometimes with that experience. Phillip Rivers playing with Tyler Warren, so they're teammates. Rivers was a rookie when he played with Doug Flutie, who played with Peyton. So we can jump from Tyler Warren to Walter Payton in like 2 jumps because of Rivers' comeback. Maybe we'll get to that if we have time. Sam Panayotovich, who joins us on Fridays, is almost on a daily basis touting the Bills. He keeps betting into them harder and harder to win it all, and he knows the risks. He wrote the article. He's talking about the picture and the headline. What do you hear when he does this? Do you hear like sort of a sound, yes, I get it, I want in?
Desperation?
What, how does it come off to you? Like, what is your take on all this Bills futures love?
Thursdays we do 10 toes down. So what do you think his 10 toes down was?
I can tell you. I know.
Yeah, Bills are going to the Super Bowl. Don't know if they're going to win it. They're going to be in the Super Bowl. The idea I get, but yeah, as the season goes on, especially this week he has talked about that with more confidence than anything. And I get where he's coming from. I think all of us, you know, when we make a bet or when we have a strong opinion and things are kind of lining up for that to happen, or we think there's increased chances of it's happening. Like you're trying to talk it into existence, right? Sometimes I want to say that's not happening here. The case is strong. The case is, let's go to the start of the year. I told you Mahomes is not part of that equation. How do you feel about the Bills going to the Super Bowl? Allen is healthy. I tell you, oh, yeah, Lamar, we're still waiting. We're still waiting for the good Lamar, and you still have his playoff history if they do make the playoffs. Burrow's going to miss most of the year. He's going to be there at the end, and he's going to play well, but they're not going to be good enough to make the playoffs. So we're taking those 3 quarterbacks out. How do you feel about your chances? With that, I like it.
Yeah.
I understand that angle completely. And I understand the questions around the teams that are likely to have the top couple of seeds in the AFC.
When you lay it out like that, it sounds like they almost have to go. There's a lot of that out there, and it's only, I think, going to get louder as we arc through December into January.
Well, they'll probably need 3 road wins to make it, and that's the other side of that coin. Is as much better as Allen might be versus his counterparts at the position, can they go to whoever, Baltimore and Jacksonville and Denver, and win or whatever it is? Are you surprised they're favored this week, even if it's only by 1?
I am not surprised at all that it's -1. And yet, maybe when Diggs was asked that question, it was the opposite because it's been right around 0 all week. But we had another guest today, multiple guests, that they have their models, they break down numbers, they've gone out of their way this week to tell us, I don't get it, my numbers disagree with it, we have New England as the favorite. They should be favored in this game. But people, they're still waiting for New England to prove it, even though they sit here with this record on the year. The reality is, look at the teams they face, and a lot of people are going to go by that, and I certainly understand. If you sweep them, now that's a completely different story. I'm not surprised, but a lot of the numbers people do disagree with that line that is set. Reality is, I think they know a lot of people are going to come in and bet the Bills on this spot. They're going to be betting against the season sweep.
A lot of big favorites this week. Kind of weird maybe for this late in the season, but several double-digit favorites. Is there a big underdog you like?
Yeah, like is hard. Massive favorites. You mentioned the Phillip Rivers possibility, and we don't even know if he's going to play. But Seattle, that is now 2 full touchdowns. Jacksonville, monster number, 13.5. San Francisco, 12.5 against Tennessee. The Jacksonville one against the Jets. And then if I had to pick one of these double-digit favorites that could lose, I don't want to sit here and tell you the Philly thing looks a lot better this week. There was so much smoke and noise, and Hurts was so awful. Is he going to bounce back from a 5-turnover performance by himself? I don't know. I know it's the Raiders on the other side. And once you get to the last month of the season, you guys know this. These bad teams with awful quarterbacks, it's like they barely have a chance. But if I were to pick one to lose, I would not want to put my money on the Philadelphia Eagles right now.
Kenny Pickett revenge, even though he was there for 5 minutes.
Possibly. He looked a lot better than Geno Smith last week.
Bears quickly, Joe, home to the Browns. Super cold, right?
Super cold. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be around 0. But you also have a team that is used to that cold weather. That cold weather with the strong run game on the Bears side, I do want to trust, but you do have that Browns defense. Now, they don't play as strong on the road as they do at home. Bears offensive line has been really good this year. We'll see how they do against the best pass rusher in the game. I wouldn't lay the 7.5. Could I see them breaking through, with the run game in the second half? Sure, I could see that. You were talking about a trap game. They do have Green Bay on deck again, so this is kind of like that old school sandwich spot that people talk about. They got to take care of business. This is the biggest favorite the Bears have been since 2020. So, I mean, wow. They go from being the 1 seed to 1 close loss to Green Bay. Now they're the 7 seed, and they're just hanging on. So they've got to win this. They're going to go in. They still have Green Bay, and then they've got Detroit as well. So they've got some tough games after this one.
Week 18 at home against the Lions.
Yeah,
that'll be cold for that one.
Probably the last playoff spot going to come down to that game.
Maybe at night, Goff on the road. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does being down your top corner and a player who has scored touchdowns defensively the past 2 weeks move the line at all? Not that we know yet, but Christian Benford was seen in a walking boot after practice today is on the injury report with a toe injury.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, of course it is. You're saying it.
Just since we started here talking to Joe, numerous reporters are mentioning that he was he's on the injury report now with a toe limited today.
Given where the line is at, yeah, I could see it moving it down. So it's Buffalo -1. Could that bump it down to maybe a pick 'em? Oh, certainly. It certainly could, especially when you look at this matchup. The Patriots don't have a strong running game. We know how they move the football. And look at May with the deep ball this year. So given the matchup, this circumstance, where the number is, like if it was 3, I would say probably not. But, yeah, I could see it kind of pushing people towards that New England side for sure.
Wow. Joe, good luck this weekend. We look forward already to talking to you next Thursday.
Thanks, guys.
Joe Ostrowski, Bet Sweats, weekday mornings 9 to noon Eastern, and also available on the Odyssey app and the Bet 1520. Benford, toe, limited, reportedly walking boot. Not the walking boot.
Is there such a thing as a precautionary boot? Precautionary walking boot.
Maybe.
Let's hope.
Maybe.
Just got to make sure he doesn't bang it on anything. Like a door frame.
What is
or
the deal with the walking boot?
Leg of a nightstand or something. Oh my gosh.
Is there a non-walking boot? Like a cast. That would be a cast. Walking boot.
Walking boot.
What are the other boots about? What are they here for? Oh yeah. I can believe it, but what a development. Sal will join us at 4. Maybe he'll know more. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, WGR. Real quick before we break again and talk to Sal, Christian Benford on the injury report with a toe injury, as the Bills describe it, and he was reportedly seen in a walking boot. We don't know what happened there, but we've had Ed Oliver, correct me if I'm wrong, and then later last week, A.J. Epinesa, and perhaps now Benford, all suffer these foot or toe injuries not practicing. While not practicing. That was Oliver, too?
Well, Benford was present and accounted for, not mentioned today, so I might assume that something happened to him today.
He's got the boot already?
He's got the boot already. He's already in a boot.
Epinesa was away from practice,
right.
and Oliver was like
right.
Instagramming something.
Yeah, I don't know what
That's
happened.
That's what the kids call it, Instagramming.
Right. Yeah, but it's that was after week 1. Heading into week 2.
We'll see what Sal knows. That'll be next. The Sabres are in Vancouver tonight. What are we looking at, 10?
10 o'clock start.
9 o'clock pregame?
Yep.
Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, back with Sal next on WGR.
The Buffalo Bills were back on the field for practice today. The Barnes Firm Injury Report: injured for help, call 1-800-8-million. Christian Benford, a new addition to the injury report with a toe injury, officially listed as limited, along with Joey Bosa, Terrell Bernard, Spencer Brown, and Joshua Palmer. Mitchell Trubisky also on the report. He did not practice today due to illness. Around the NFL, Thursday Night Football tonight between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kickoff set for 8:20 tonight. Pittsburgh Steelers pass rusher T.J. Watt has been admitted to a local hospital as there's further evaluation going on for his lung, the team announcing earlier today. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens reached a 3-year extension with defensive tackle Travis Jones, worth $40.5 million. To hockey, game night for the Buffalo Sabres. They will face the Vancouver Canucks tonight while looking for their second win on the road trip. Goaltender Colton Ellis was placed on injured reserve. That allowed for forward Trevor Kuntar to be called up from Rochester. Josh Norris will not play tonight. He was out Tuesday due to an illness. Alex Lyon expected to start for Buffalo in net. Puck drop for Sabres and Canucks set for 10 o'clock tonight. Pregame getting started at 9 here on WGR. This holiday season, we're kicking off Mission Give Where You Live to benefit Buffalo City Mission. It's powered by NYSEG. Going on now through December 19th, you can donate brand new sweatshirts, sweatpants, hats, gloves, scarves, and non-perishable food items to help keep our community warm and fed. Just stop by any Dash's Market location and drop off your donation to the Mission Give Where You Live donation bin. Shopping online, you can give through the Buffalo City Mission's Amazon wish list as well. Sponsored by the Barnes Firm and Dash's Market. You can get all of the details at WGR550.com. This update is brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet, celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Derek Kramer for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Yesterday, if not even this morning or this afternoon, the storyline was becoming, hey,
they're getting healthy.
Injuries, things are getting better.
As good as it's been in a while is phrasing that I think both Sal and myself used yesterday.
Almost one of Joe Buck's pet phrases, by the way. He loves to say, as good as it gets.
Yes,
instead of saying, like, this player is the best.
He says that a lot.
He says, like, it's kind of safer. He might say it 10 times a game. Something or somebody is as good as it gets. So definitely don't listen for that or else you'll become like me. Sal Capaccio on the West Her hotline. Christian Benford shows up. A, on the injury report. B, reportedly in a walking boot. Sal, what do you know?
Yeah, that's right. He's on the injury report as limited with a toe injury. He was not on the injury report yesterday. Earlier today, he was at practice and, just like normal practicing, right. And nothing seemed, different. And then after practice, I did not see him in a walking boot. Several of my colleagues did. Matt Perino tweeted it. I know Elena Getzenberg as well, Nick Sabato. Those are the ones I saw tweet it, that they saw him in a walking boot in the locker room. I think Elena said he walked off on his own or out, but yeah. I mean, what? It's crazy. Every week it seems like something like this is happening.
Right. So, I mean, do you have any, it's all guesswork. You have a chance to talk to this guy. McDermott will talk to you tomorrow morning on Extra Point. Maybe we'll get some more detail. Is there such a thing as like a precautionary walking boot? Could it
be a PWB?
Could it just be like, he's a little sore. We just want to make sure he doesn't bump it on the, I don't know. I'm just trying to find any kind of positive in this because, man, it just sounds like what lousy timing. I'm asking you yesterday, do you think they'll have him travel with Diggs? And now he's in a boot.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, buddy. I mean, sure, it could always be something that just happened, precautionary, make sure that you don't, slip on the ice on the way home, right? You know what I mean? To make it worse. Something like that. But last time this happened, we were talking about Ed Oliver. I'm like, it could be anything. And then he missed several weeks. So that was earlier in the season before he had his biceps injury, by the way.
Right.
So, sure, anything could be possible here. Just going to have to wait till tomorrow morning during the Extra Point show to find out from Sean McDermott what he says about Christian Benford. But if they lose Christian Benford for this game, that is a massive blow, obviously. I mean, this is a really good passing attack with a really good young quarterback, and the Bills had problems covering Stephon Diggs last time, and not that Benford would be on Diggs necessarily. We just talked about that. It looks like he'll be more in the slot. That'll be Taron Johnson, but Keyshawn Boutte and the rest of their group, Pop Douglas, I mean, they have receivers that can do a nice job, and it would be really not ideal for the Bills to not have Christian Benford. And oh, by the way, they only have 3 boundary corners on their active roster right now. If they want to go into a game with 3, that's one thing. That's Benford, Max Harrison, and Trey White. But Dane Jackson could get called up, to Corey Couch, MJ Devonshire. They just signed to the practice squad, but right now they only have 3.
Yeah, insert maybe the importance of losing Jamarcus Ingram.
Oh,
yeah.
Last week, the way they did, or the week before, whenever that
Bulldog, just salt in the wounds.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just spitting facts.
MJ,
or the importance of Darius Slay deciding not to report.
Right, precisely. Right. That whole episode cost them a corner.
It's all connected.
That's right.
One who had a familiarity with the system. One who I think they thought was going to be an upgrade over the guy that had familiarity with the system. That's why they tried to switch him 1 for 1, and of course that didn't work.
Can I dare to pose this question here? Like the walking boot. Would you be willing to sort of pontificate on the walking boot, what it connotes, what it sort of probably means? Do they have, by the way, like a whole wall of walking boots left and right for each shoe size on the team? Like what is the walking boot?
Well, again, it's very tough to, I don't want to speculate. I don't know. Right? I don't know what's wrong with them. I think it'd be irresponsible on my part to do that. I would say this, though. I'm going to read what Elena wrote. Elena Getzenberg, ESPN.com, because I thought it was interesting. She had the word short for short walking boot. She said, Bills Christian Benford had a short walking boot put on his left foot in the locker room today, walked out on his own.
Oh, it's worse than I thought.
That's different than a long walking boot, apparently.
It's worse than I thought. Now there's a short wall and a long wall of walking boots. Maybe these things are really one size fits all. I don't know. But short walking boots.
I'm going to retweet Lance Lasowski from the News has a photo of what he says is similar to what Benford was witnessed in. So I'm just going to send that out there.
Great. There you go.
Just so people can see it. It looks like a really rugged sandal. Is what I would say. What I would say this thing.
Okay, I'm gonna read his tweet though. You can do it too. If you want to read his tweet, I think it's very
sure.
And again, I just want to be clear. I did not see Christian Benford in a walking boot today. Okay, I was not there at that time.
Right.
But so I want to make sure that I'm giving credit to the people putting it out there, because my colleagues are putting the work out there and the reporting, and I want to make sure that we are being accurate here. So go ahead.
Here's what Lance Lasowski writes. For those who need a visual, as close as anyone has sent, of the medical shoe worn by Benford after practice. He was walking fine. Assume it's a precaution, but you can read more, and then I don't have the rest of it open here.
So he called it a walking shoe, and it does look more like a shoe than a boot to me, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I went with like rugged sandal.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna
listen, you two.
I'm sending that out there into the world, just trying to do my part. Thank you, Lance, for the photo.
Rugged sandals. That's a team name. That's a future team name. Medical shoes. Well, I don't know. How about this, Sal? Again, we're speculating, and I'm not trying to put you in a difficult place. He was back out there, right? Like, if he had some sort of a serious thing, maybe he wouldn't have been back on the field today.
What do you mean?
No, well, the assumption is he got hurt today at practice.
But then he went back.
We get to watch the beginning of practice, and then we leave. And then after practice is when he was seen with it, and he was listed as limited, which means something happened at practice probably.
And he left.
And he left practice or didn't finish it.
I was thinking that he was back out watching in the boot, but okay.
No, I think that these people saw him.
No, the media doesn't go back in until practice is over.
Right. Okay. Got it. We good?
MJ Devonshire signed maybe yesterday. Who's he, and is he somebody who might be like next up if Benford is out?
Bills like their guys from Pitt, don't they? Another Pitt defensive back here. He started his college career at Kentucky. He's been on a few different NFL teams since entering the NFL as a 7th-round draft pick in 2024 by the Raiders. He's a guy that I believe that has some, special teams ability. You would think that, a late round DB, usually those are guys who are going to be able to do that. And I think if I have to go back and look, he also had some return ability, but nothing like necessarily you want to, hang your hat on. But yeah, you probably a guy that you're hoping that you can get him up to speed in your system. And if he has to, play at some point, then so be it. But man, I don't know. Right now, you're probably looking at another Pitt guy. To me, Dane Jackson next up. Like, to me, that would be the next. I think Dane has 2 elevations, so he has 1 more left. So if something were actually to be, concerning about Benford playing on Sunday, then by Saturday at 4 p.m., you'd probably see Dane Jackson as the next guy elevated.
Okay. What about what this would mean to this particular matchup, if we haven't said that already here in enough depth? Like, if I'm the Patriots, if I'm anybody playing the Bills, what I want to be able to do first is run it. I mean, I've seen other teams have a lot of success doing that. I want to try that. And I've got a quarterback here. This is maybe like playing what playing the Bills is like, where they want to run the ball, but if they can't, and they still have Josh Allen either way, who can do, great things. Maybe that's New England to an extent as well. You take Benford off the field. I mean, Benford didn't have a great start to the season, but he had a great year last year and has had a couple of huge plays lately. Do you think that would or should affect how the Patriots sort of plot out this game offensively?
I think the Patriots are who they are, a team that wants to run the ball in, kind of first and foremost as their identity, but they are absolutely willing to put the ball in the hands of their young quarterback, take shots, and man, they throw the ball down the field. They do. I ran across a stat the other day that I tweeted out. You guys want to, I don't know if you saw my tweet or not. You want to guess the top 3 teams in the NFL on 20 or more yard passing plays this year?
Oof. I did see this. The Bills are second or third?
Bills are first with the Rams. They're tied. Now, the reason I bring this up is
it's a lot of rack yards, though.
Yes, that's right. It's a lot of yards after catch. The Bills' depth of target is less than 8, but they lead the league basically in yards after catch. I think they lead the league. The Patriots' depth of target is over 9, and they don't have as much yards after catch. It's 2 totally different ways to get there, but the Patriots throw the ball down the field. They try to throw over the top of you, and they have guys that they can throw it to, and Pop Douglas is one, and Butte is one, and Mac Hollins can get involved. Stephon Diggs can get involved. They love to do that. They're going to take their shots, guys, with or without Christian Benford. With Christian Benford, they'll take their shots. It's just what they do.
Right.
It's who they are. They do want to lean on you in the run game. I do think that Travion Henderson is becoming more of the guy that they realize is better for them, but they still give the ball to Ramondre Stevenson quite a bit. But Henderson's the guy that's more explosive. He's not the 4 yards in a cloud of turf pellets, right? I mean, he is that is Ramondre Stevenson mostly, whereas Henderson's the guy that's going to have the explosive ability. So to me, it's a team that wants to kind of grind you out, and then hit a big play in some capacity.
The Bills have 12 players who have gone for more than 20 yards on a pass play this year. And that just blows my mind. This really
Amazing.
Does mess with me. Curtis Samuel is one. He has a 21-yard catch. Ty Johnson for 52. That's the Bucs game, right? I mean,
Yep.
Palmer, who I barely remember, 45-yard catch. Shavers, that's
Jackson
also
Hawes
the Bucs
should have
game.
one in the opener, right? Jackson Hawes
for 29 in the opener. Yeah, this is Elijah Moore. See you later, 31.
Nice.
That's really interesting. Because what are we always? I mean, it's great to point this out because we're always talking about how they can't do what they can't do offensively, which is maybe to some extent incorrect because of receivers and their ability to separate downfield. Even Keon Coleman has a 35-yard catch to join this list, so that's really good.
I think that might even be the one in the opener too, where he almost broke it at the end, but who knows?
Okay.
But yeah, so the Rams and the Bills each have 50 20-plus yard passing plays this year, and the Patriots have 49, and they're in third place. Interestingly, the Bills also lead the NFL with 1 40 or more yard pass play allowed. That's it. So this is really interesting, like the way the Bills play. The Bills don't allow explosives, not 20, but 40. The Bills don't allow explosives, like that kind of explosive. The Bills have had 1 40-yard pass against them. It's actually exactly 40 yards. Don't ask me to remember it. I can't right now, but it was a 40-yard pass play against them. And every other team has more than 1. The Bills lead the league.
Wow. I'm guessing. I was going to guess Waddle, but that's 38 as I look at that box score from the.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
Miami
It's a
game.
good question.
Sal Capaccio on the West Her hotline. What do you like in this matchup for the Bills on offense? What you studied on New England defensively.
Yeah.
What is there a certain edge you like the most?
I do. I think that just over the last few weeks, because New England has lost Milton Williams, they have been susceptible against the run, and it's the Bills' strength. So why wouldn't they lean into that? I think the Bills should want to and might have some ability to run the ball here. Since Milton Williams has gone out, he's missed 2 games. But even if you go past before that, you go back to their game against Tampa. That is, 4 games ago. They have allowed 5.4, 5.0, 5.2, and then 4.1 yards per rushing per game last week against the Giants. But 3 of their last 4 games, they've allowed over 5 yards a carry. And Milton Williams was actually in the lineup for a couple of those, but he has missed the last couple of games. Yeah, I think the Bills have an ability to run here.
Week 11, he left early, and that.
There you go. That's what it is.
Right. So.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think conversely, Sal, I'm sorry, Mike asked you about Bills on offense, so we should fill that out. But I just had one other thought on the Bills' run defense.
Well, let me just say, offensively, I do think this is a heavy personnel, Jackson Hawes, James Cook game. You're on the road. The communication's going to be a little tough. So do what you do best. Run the ball. Make it like you did at Carolina, trying to just take the will from them right away. Make it like you did in Pittsburgh. Go on the road, run the ball. To me, that's the edge that you have in this game. And if you can do that, then you're going to be able to open up the things that Josh Allen's able to do and throw the ball a little bit.
We all know the Bills have had, games where their run defense has just been putrid, right? But the last one of those is Week 11, Tampa, when Sean Tucker 200 yards. They just he didn't have 200 yards, but as a team they had 200 yards in that game. But Houston was just barely over 100 as a team in a loss for the Bills, and Pittsburgh and Cincinnati barely did anything on the ground. Do you think Shaq Thompson has fixed that for them and like everyone else around him? If their tackling's been better. You mentioned, I think, one of these weeks how few missed tackles they had in an entire game. And I think even maybe the Pittsburgh game, they had 4 missed tackles for the game. I remember plays where they had 4 missed tackles from earlier in the year. So they've tightened things up there. I don't know, is that bankable? You think? Because I'm not as worried about New England gashing them on the ground as I would have been, coming off the Miami and Tampa games back to back. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm in a crisis here.
Yeah, I mean, New England's going to want to run the ball, and the Bills did miss a bunch of tackles in that game, if you remember. That was a theme coming out of that game. The tackles they missed. I just think sometimes it's just, you get through the season and you're going to have games where that happens. You're going to have games where you're much better at it. And hopefully what they've been able to do last couple of weeks carries over, especially against the Steelers. I think last week's a little different. You're playing in the snow and all that. Wasn't really a kind of ground and pound game. And the Bills did a good job against the run last week. That's the thing that I'm encouraged about. I think the Bills are much better against the run lately. And a lot of that is Shaq Thompson. We've talked about that. I think they're also using base personnel more, guys. In fact, there's some analytics on it that they have used base personnel more this year. They're using 3 linebackers more against teams, and this is probably a game where they're going to do that. I think the Patriots, they're not going to go and spread you out all over the place all the time. So the Bills probably counter with some base personnel, and they have to be better at tackling than they have been, and they have been better at tackling and need to continue that. And, we'll see if they can, make sure they get guys on the ground and not give – what hurt the Bills, I think, last time against the Patriots was a lot of those, kind of pitch and catch. Stephon Diggs for 6 yards, right? And there's Hunter Henry. And you get in these short yardage situations, and then they hit you with a big one. And it's just tough to get off the field when you're living life like that.
Top 5 longest pass plays this year against the Bills, just in. 5th, Mike Gesicki. 37.
Mm-hmm.
4, Waddle, 38. 2 players tied for second at 39. Zay Flowers and Drake London. And the only man to get to 40, which was on the number, 40 yards, Hollywood Brown. There's your top 5 against the Bills this year. Sal,
that was the busted play from left to right.
Brown.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he sort of caught it standing still deep in Bills territory, right? He was just sort of out there.
And the Bills held him to a field goal, I think it was, after Benford touched him at the 1 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Far be it for me to remember anything from any Bills-Chiefs regular season game. I strain to do so.
Can't be bothered.
Sal, I like to think you have some respect for me. Maybe when I tell you that Bruce Smith never intercepted a pass, you might have gone into social settings and relayed that bit of trivia. It happens to be wrong. I apologize for the mistake. He had 2 interceptions, so hopefully you didn't get yourself into any trouble relaying
your friend Mike said he never
erroneous
had any.
statistic. Yes.
No. Thank you for telling me. In fact, tonight I might use this. I'll be the MC for the annual Trench Trophy Awards Banquet, which is given to the best high school football lineman in Western New York. So it's offensive and defensive linemen. This is a great antidote because we talk about linemen and how rough and tough and run game and protection and all that. And this is a great antidote about, hey, Bruce Smith even had 2 interceptions, and look at A.J. Epinesa and what he's doing. I mean,
right.
You could be very versatile on the line. So
it's a good thing we got the correction in because you might have mentioned that Bruce never had
any.
It got it just in.
You just got it in time, Mike. Yeah.
Bruce Smith had a pick. Now, when I was corrected yesterday, and I'm grateful for this, and my friend Andy also remembered this one play at the Jets where he tipped a pass, like 93 maybe. He tipped a pass and then caught it, like as he was maybe just tipped it in the air to himself, basically. It was a great play.
Right, Epinesa's had a couple like that.
And then, so 93 and 94, those seasons, Bruce Smith had 1 interception each. I'm in here yesterday like, why didn't he just sort of pick a game, not that important, and just make it his point to, maybe that was the Jet, maybe that's what he did, because it was the Jets.
I think I may have said when we were talking about this, he should have tried harder. I feel bad about that.
We feel bad about everything. Rugged sandals, medical shoes, short boots, long boots.
I don't want to feel bad about asking you. I have a very important question to ask you, Mike.
All right.
Okay? Oh, boy. Fantasy?
So this has to be fantasy football related. It is playoff week.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up Mike Evans. He was on the waiver wire. Should I start him before tonight's game?
Over whom?
It would most likely be Xavier Worthy.
Yes.
Okay.
I would.
Because I think that's the bottom of the – that would be the cutoff list for me.
We're on the heels of Amon-Ra St. Brown supposedly going to miss time and then showing up against Dallas. What a player against Dallas and going 8 for 90. You just hate – he's not St. Brown anymore, Evans, but, there's 2 kinds of people maybe, 2 kinds of fantasy players. The kind that would be nervous about is he ready? Is he a decoy?
There was a game, wasn't it, last year that he came back and left pretty early.
Well, I doubt that's the plan, though.
I know. I'm just saying, like, he got dinged, and it was like, can't. He re-injured whatever the injury was and had to leave. So
I think
there's always that danger.
There is. That can be anybody. I think of St. Brown as an example because I think, like, Evans is sort of in that camp where the guy, this is Mike Evans, right? I'm coming back. It's prime time.
And they need to win. Yeah.
They need to win, right? It's Atlanta. Could be a shootout. Yeah. Cousins went for 500 yards last year against that team. Like, this could be a fun pinball kind of game. So I'd play him, not over everybody, but I'd play him over Worthy.
Okay.
Good luck.
You got it.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sal. There's Sal Capaccio on the Wester Hotline. His appearances are always brought to you by New York's only outlet liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What's your outlet?
See, the thing here, though, is when you give someone start-sit advice, it has to work.
Yeah.
This is one of those where if it does, whatever.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, you told me. Sal wouldn't necessarily say this, but other people would remember it, having heard it. But I just always like to put it a certain way, that I would do it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I would do it.
This game I'm thinking of last year had to be a night game, too, because there's no way I was just sitting around watching Tampa on a Sunday. Just solely watching Tampa on a Sunday. And I think he maybe even caught a touchdown and got hurt on the play. I don't know.
No, that was a different game.
Okay.
That was a Baltimore game.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
The game in Atlanta that went off was an overtime game, and Cousins, everybody went off in this game, and my buddies somehow managed to lose a parlay based it got so it was a terrible beat. Like somebody needed one more catch or one more yard, and somehow it didn't happen, even though the game went on forever.
Right. This didn't maybe Cousins have a really efficient last-second drive to tie it to force the overtime. I remember a drive last year with him in Atlanta that was just it was just like bing, 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 20 seconds they're down the field. or something close to that.
Yeah. They won 36-30. Cousins, who we're getting tonight, 42 for 58 for 509 and 4. Evans, Amir, 5 for 62 and 2. Time for a break. 803-0550 for your calls. We'll be looking for your thoughts going through next hour. Paul joins us, Paul Hamilton, at 6 on the Sabres. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR.
The Buffalo Bills were back on the practice field today. Christian Benford, a new addition to the injury report with a toe injury. He was limited officially in practice, along with Joey Bosa, Terrell Bernard, Spencer Brown, and Joshua Palmer. Mitch Trubisky did not practice today due to illness, according to the injury report. Around the NFL, Thursday Night Football tonight, the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kickoff set for 8:20 tonight. Pittsburgh Steelers pass rusher T.J. Watt has been admitted to a local hospital as there's further evaluation going on for his lung, the team announcing earlier today. The Baltimore Ravens reaching a 3-year extension with defensive tackle Travis Jones, the contract worth $40.5 million. To hockey, game night for the Buffalo Sabres. They take on the last-place Vancouver Canucks tonight. Goaltender Colton Ellis was placed on injured reserve. That allows for the Sabres to recall forward Trevor Kuntar. From Rochester, Josh Norris will not play tonight. He was out Tuesday due to illness. Alex Lyon expected to start for Buffalo. Puck drop for Sabres and Canucks set for 10 o'clock tonight. Pre-game getting started at 9 here on WGR. Those are your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Derek Kramer. You're listening to WGR.
The difference that I'm looking for the Buffalo defense is Cole Bishop and the way that he's come on since that game. Up in the first 5 games for the Buffalo Bills, Cole Bishop played in the box 23%. In the last 2 games, that's down to 9. He's the 13th best-rated safety in the league. He's a difference maker. When you watch Diggs in the last game, he was able to create so many plays down the field, in the middle of the field, catching runs. I expect Cole Bishop to have a big say-so on whether or not that's going to be the same story.
This is Andrew Hawkins. Get to Know Me. Are you a fan of that skit on SNL? John Lovitz, Get to Know Me? Has the show ever sounded older?
Don't really remember it. I guess I can dig in now that I have Peacock.
I guess you can. Plus the curling trials are on.
Oh, well.
But they're almost over. I think maybe tonight or tomorrow, that's it.
Yeah.
But yes, that's what you need to have. You need to have Peacock. Just reading Drew McGarry at Defector. Nobody pushes harder than this guy. Like, I don't know if anybody pushes back, if he's just completely without any sort of...
really, right?
Yes,
yeah,
just like...
Right.
I mean, stuff that I wouldn't even repeat to friends
right.
sometimes. Drew McGarry, but he's really... I mean, he's brilliant. And he's also a Chopped winner.
Okay, this I did not know.
On the cooking show Chopped. He has a column just up about how everybody should be rooting for the Bills. That's his take. And I just finished it. Fundamentally, it's because who else? New England?
Yeah, no.
Denver?
Yeah, no. Right.
Pittsburgh? Jacksonville? Philadelphia? The Rams? Etc. Like, that the Bills are... All right. You hear a lot of the Nick Wright kind of thing. Like, you hear a lot of, you better get it this time. And we're feeling that. I mean, we are. But this is more of a, let's root for it.
You should get behind it.
Get behind it.
Get behind it, America.
The Los Angeles Chargers? Houston? I could keep going. I mean,
Seattle.
Maybe Seattle is next. If the Bills were out of it, replace the Bills with Kansas City, some team you would never root for.
Right.
Except for, like, wanting dynasty stuff. Who would you be rooting for right now? Chicago?
Green Bay. Green Bay, because Green Bay. It's smaller than us, and we're maybe only smaller than Jacksonville. I whatever. It's small, and Green Bay is like not even barely a city. I mean, so like they're always sort of like a pull at that, but they've. It's been a while since they've won too. It's not like they're always in your hair or anything, but they've done plenty of winning. I mean, they're a historic franchise, but they do that in Green Bay.
I guess. I was there too. I have a cheesehead in my possession.
You have a cheesehead?
I do. I went to see the Packers play the Bears at Lambeau with my then girlfriend in the year they won, 96. Desmond Howard had a punt return touchdown, I think, and he had one in the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
So I have a cheesehead from almost 30 years ago. Still, in cheesehead shape.
All right.
Doesn't smell.
Right.
Or is moldy. It's fine.
It's not actually made of cheese.
It's not. Well, I thought it was when I bought it.
It's foam.
I thought eventually I would just have to eat it. But no. But it just feels a little bit trite to root for the Packers, I think. Like, it's a little bit too easy. I don't know. I think Seattle's a good choice.
Yeah.
Darnold is a good choice.
What about Detroit? I mean, they're not in a spot right now, but
I guess.
They're like us.
Why can't I get there on Detroit? Why can't I get there? I never can get there on Detroit. I don't know. Feel any sympathy toward Detroit, toward the Lions. Should I? It makes sense. Goff's a great story. He is a great story. Campbell.
They're just taking the contract, because they got to make the Stafford trade, and they'll find a new guy. And Goff has been fringe MVP-ish since he's been there. Really, he's been really excellent for them. So he's a great story. Campbell's a great story.
I want no part of Sean Payton on that podium.
Ugh.
Mike Vrabel on that podium. Tomlin, Harbaugh. Really, there's a little bit of a redemption element with them that I could listen to that isn't so bad, but who is Liam Cohen? I want Jim Harbaugh on that podium. No.
Oh.
Sirianni again? God, no.
Right, with Big Dom.
Big
right
Dom.
There. Get out of here.
I mean, I guess McVay. Do you like McVay? I think I do.
McVay is really I liked him. Then I felt like he was kind of he's not as gutty on fourth down stuff or smart on fourth down stuff as you'd like often, or hasn't been. And I sort of felt like he was getting a lot of run and wasn't really delivering. But I have really warmed up to him.
Okay.
I do kind of like him.
Campbell, though. Matt LaFleur? Whatever? Ben Johnson?
I think I'm more inclined to dislike Matt LaFleur than like him, and really? I'm not even sure really why.
It's because of his fashion sense.
You think
I think so.
That could be it.
Yeah. He's coiffed.
I'm not.
He's put together. He puts thought into how he looks.
I'm definitely.
You don't like that.
I'm definitely not above just the aesthetics being off, having a huge influence.
You don't like a guy that puts thought into how he looks. I mean, it's all else equal. You'd rather it look more random.
I guess. I don't know. It's more it's more the DeMeco Ryans with the super tight shirt and the arms folded so he's flexing. He's got his palms behind his biceps.
You don't like that.
And just look at me. I could still play. Just shut up.
You know who's still alive? Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Still alive in this year's tournament. Possible.
Yeah, no.
Shane Steichen. Who?
Right.
Mike McDonald. Seattle.
No opinion.
Kyle Shanahan would have a chance at 9-4. Very good chance, maybe. 9-4.
I kind of like the Niners. I kind of like him.
Brian Schottenheimer. It's Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
He wouldn't even be allowed on the podium, Schottenheimer, if they won a Super Bowl. It would just Jerry Jones would just stand there.
Jerry Jones
and his sons
stiff arm him out of the way.
Yeah, maybe no.
Sorry,
buddy.
Schottenheimer's there, security. He's like, I'm the coach. Like, no, Jerry said no.
This is my work.
It's a velvet rope.
He'd be like Kevin Hart trying to get on that podium that one time when the Eagles won. Just sort of security's just pushing him back. Only he's the head coach.
Right.
We can't have that.
That's a bad look.
We can't have you getting any credit for this, sir.
No,
sorry.
No.
I'll pay you, but that's as far as I'm going. The Line, presented by FanDuel after a break. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, WGR. is pretty cool. 23 Sabres alumni from the 05-06 team have been confirmed, expected to appear for their reunion night on January 15th.
Correct, right.
Including Maxim Afinogenov, who I'm hoping will want to play tennis.
Okay.
But I have to go through some channels on that one.
All right.
Maybe he'll bring his wife.
What is that story? Did your wife hit with his future wife? Or
yes.
Right. Okay.
In front of a crowd. And then she and Max's brother, my wife and Max's brother, played against Max and Elena. Elena Dementieva, who was as high as 4th in the world, maybe. Never won a slam. Came very close. But they were dating at the time. She would hit in Buffalo at where we play. I don't really play anymore, but where my wife still plays. And we knew it. And it was like, oh, this is really cool. Elena Dementia was in Buffalo hitting. And my favorite, may I?
Please.
So when I met my wife, our second date was tennis. And I'm all like, okay, well, she really plays, but I used to play, so this will be great. And we hit for 45 minutes. And I didn't work out. Like I was kind of amazed that I was holding up to this with such a good player. Like it was great. 45 minutes. And I'm feeling so good. We go to the net, and she's like, you want to keep, like the commercial, you want to keep playing? Without the ridiculous cackling in the background that makes no sense. I was just like, let's play a set. And she said, are you sure? And I said, right. Now I'm sure. So she, served ladies first. She served in the corner, 15 love, at the body, 30 love, ran me a little bit, 40 love, ace game. I served. Now I'm exhausted.
Right.
I'm tight.
Because when you were hitting, she was just hitting it to you, basically, right?
Right. A good player like she is will put the ball right where you want it. Like a pitcher serving batting practice. Like, where do you want it?
Right.
So she's hitting the ball right to me, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
I'm doing great.
I'm in great
I'm not even
form.
tired.
I'm not tired. I lost the set, 6 love. I didn't win 1 point.
Right.
Which was a source of controversy in the family. Like, how could you not give him 1 point? She's like, that's not how I am, which I loved.
Right.
So, I learned a lesson that day. Like, okay, well, a good player, if I'm playing with a pro and they want to hit, they're going to put the ball right where I need it so we can rally. So this night, and she's super good, Buffalo Tennis Hall of Fame. She's hitting with Dementieva in front of a crowd, and I'm sitting next to her mother. And this is a tremendous source of pride, this event. Like, just
sure.
How about her mom watching her hit with Dementieva? So at one point, because they're just, long rallies, and the crowds are all into it, and her mom leans into me and says, I think Carolyn could beat this girl. And I said, listen, she did this to me.
Right.
Dementieva is just putting the ball.
She's doing what
I know
Carolyn
she's
did
great.
to me. Right.
She's great. We've established that, but it's relative. Dementieva is putting the ball right where she needs it so that she can keep the pace up and they can rally because there's 100 people watching.
And it's right.
So, come on, Mom. She really.
Right.
But they did play points, and Carolyn would she'd remember it right now. Like, she had a ball on her racket up the line, a forehand up the line. She hit the tape. Like, that could have been her one moment to win a point, like bring the crowd, out.
Yeah.
But she just missed. Reunion night, January 15th, Afinogenov, one of 23. Who knew there were that many Sabres on that team? 23 players from that team. Some of these. Did you look at the list?
Yeah, I did. It's a nice list.
It is.
The only real big notables missing are guys who are GMs. Right, Briere and Drury and Greer are, going to be busy running their teams, so they're not coming for the.
No excuse.
Right. So, but most everybody else is there, which is nice.
Norinen is on the list. Mika Norinen.
All right.
No Stafford. He was sort of almost on that team. Like, Paille is here.
Oh yeah,
Stafford is not.
Doesn't play really at all in 06. 07 by the playoffs, he matters.
If Paye got invited, I wonder if Stafford might have too, but I don't know where he's at.
Not just by the playoffs. He's in the center of the brawl game in February. Yeah,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
The next year.
Yeah.
So here's to it. That should be a great night. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog will get back to your calls and our earlier discussion after the update. Are the Bills the most likable contender in the league? Your thoughts are welcome. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, WGR.
The Buffalo Bills were back for a full practice today after a walkthrough yesterday. The Barnes Firm injury report: injured for help, call 1-800-8-million. Christian Benford, a new addition to the injury report with a toe injury. He was limited in practice today, along with Joey Bosa, Terrell Bernard, Spencer Brown, and Joshua Palmer. Mitch Trubisky did not practice today. He was out due to an illness. Around the NFL, Thursday Night Football tonight between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kickoff set for 8:20 tonight for that game. The Pittsburgh Steelers have an issue with T.J. Watt. The pass rusher has been admitted to a local hospital as there is further evaluation going on for his lung. The team announcing that earlier today. To hockey, game night for the Buffalo Sabres. They take on the Vancouver Canucks, who are last place in the NHL. Goaltender Colton Ellis was placed on injured reserve for Buffalo. That allowed the Sabres to recall Trevor Kuntar from Rochester. He signed a one-year, two-way deal yesterday. Josh Norris will not play tonight. He is going to be out with an illness. Alex Lyon expected to start for Buffalo tonight. Puck drop for Sabres and Canucks set for 10 o'clock. You can hear pregame start at 9 here on WGR. This holiday season, we're kicking off Mission Give Where You Live to benefit Buffalo City Mission. It's powered by NYSEG, going on through December 19th. You can donate brand new sweatshirts, sweatpants, hats, gloves, scarves, and non-perishable food items to help keep our community warm and fed. Just stop by any Dashes Market location and drop your donation off to the Mission Give Where You Live donation bin. If you're shopping online, you could still help out and give through the Buffalo City Mission's Amazon wish list. Sponsored by the Barnes Firm and Dashes Market. Get all of the details at our website at WGR550.com. This update's brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet, celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Derek Kramer for WGR Sports Radio 550.
It's Mike Schopp.
Hey, put a little. I never get this line out the first time. It's not even good. Hey, put a little bit more in there, cowboy.
And the Bulldog.
What's your degree in?
Kicking ass and taking names.
On WGR Sports Radio 550.
For those wondering, the line presented by FanDuel has been postponed until 5:48. Technical issue precluded us from bringing that to you earlier. So that'll be at 5:48. The line presented by FanDuel. Still to come. You haven't missed it.
Technical issues.
Technical issues.
Good. Technical issues.
They happen.
Yeah.
So I think we've talked about, you and I talked about like the Bills' likability, different topics along the way. Christian Benford on the injury report today. That's something. I just think call in with what you want. I mean, you might get on. I think the most interesting discussion, even though it's been the one we've kind of resorted to over and over this week, is just what will happen here in these 4 games. And I started today with you on how this game might not be as big as even you might want it to be or think of it as. I did Matthew Collar's podcast again today, Purple Insider, and he thought, game of the week, game of the year. Like, it's really not that big for chances. Now, the Bills can't win the AFC East if they lose.
And they will definitively, that clinches on Sunday if they lose.
Right.
Like, it's all over. There's no coming back from another loss to New England.
Right. It's wild card or bust. I mean, that makes it pretty big. Like, you have...
Sure,
the division is on the line.
It really depends on how much you are invested in them still striving for that and or the 1 seed. And you can't even exactly just connect the two because Denver is looming there too at 11-2, right? So you have to pass a couple teams. Obviously you can't catch Denver without passing New England, but there's 2 teams that have to stumble here. Denver stumbling wouldn't be shocking to me. A lot of their games have been close. They've had some very good fortune along the way, more so than New England, I would say, by a lot. New England mostly has benefited from a pretty cake schedule, but they've won a lot of games pretty comfortably. Enough that I just feel like I don't expect them to just fall apart or anything. Like, I think Denver's going to fall apart. But anyway.
Dare I ask this, by the way, what if Jacksonville wins out? Could the Bills catch them? Even? One more team, to your Denver point.
Yeah, right.
Jacksonville plays Denver next week.
Okay.
So one of them will lose, you would think.
Yeah. What comes first there, common opponents or conference record?
Conference record.
They're 6-2. The Bills are 6-3. So
there's that.
There is that.
But either they or Denver will, unless there's a tie, lose a game.
Right.
I just was thinking this, though, and we did get to this earlier. So how big is it? It's big in terms of the AFC East is over if you lose. What do people call this now? A T-shirt game?
T-shirt and hat, yeah.
That's a new one to me this week.
I feel like this week was when I learned that that's what that's called. And I immediately knew what it meant when I saw it in reference to the Patriots. I went, oh, that's what we call that now? I guess the Bills have been in T-shirt. They had a T-shirt and hat game last year on December 1st when they clinched the AFC East by beating San Francisco in the snow. But I don't remember referring to it as a T-shirt and hat game. Maybe other people did that are more hip and in the know than me. Whatever. It's the first I really heard of T-shirt hat game. But anyway, that's what they're calling it.
Well, I'm excited to announce again that I'm now a New York Times guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
$1 a week. That did it for me. So I can do the crosswords and the Wordles and the connections games and all that. And I didn't realize until this afternoon, and I made a noise on the air when I thought of it, I don't have to sort of skate in some side door to get to the playoff simulator. There it is. I'm legal. If the Bills lose to New England, beat the Browns, and lose to Philadelphia, going into that Jet game, Week 18, what are their playoff odds?
98%.
Correct, 98% if they go 1-2 in the next 3 games.
Right. So
1-2.
So how big can you really talk yourself into this game being? Which is why, to me, it's all about vibes. It's all about our mindset, our belief in them, and all that. And none of that matters because they'll probably get in no matter what. And maybe they'll have to deal with New England again. And if the Bills handle them on Sunday, you'll feel a little better about that than you would if they, manage to beat the Bills, whether it's close or not. Obviously, if they stomp the Bills, that's a whole other thing. I don't expect either of these teams to do much stomping of one another on Sunday. I'm expecting another very close game like the game here was, and New England won on a late field goal. But, I think for us, we're in, for better or worse, we're in the fan morale business. We talk to fans, and it's largely about how are you feeling about this matchup? How are you feeling about this game or their wide receivers or their whatever, right? Their coaching staff. And I do think it would really elevate, at least for a week. There's another game after that, and if they fall flat against the Browns, you're like, oh, crisis time. But I think New England has been on such a roll, and I would like to believe that I'm going to get the Bills' best foot forward that they have. Because I think that's a prideful team. They have won the division 5 years in a row. I don't think they would really want to be the team that is on the other side when the T-shirts and the hats are coming out because New England has clinched the division. That's been our thing. And 2 years ago, we ran Miami down. We can run you down. We're not even as far behind. Yeah, well, it's close. The Bills had a win over Miami already in that 2 years ago where they could beat them and be tied and still win the division. That's not the case because New England beat you already. But still, I would think you're going to get a very sharp, on-point Bills effort on Sunday to avoid getting swept by New England, stay alive for the division, and also just sort of remind everyone, like, hey, all this talk about we're the favorites still in the AFC, here's why. And I think that should be enough. I mean, I think New England is good, but they have barely beaten the best team they played, and that's the Bills.
I think it's really similar for both teams here, apart from the details in the standings, because New England has something to prove. And if they lose, well, they won't have proved it, but they won't be dead.
Right.
It'll be sort of it'll be talked about as sort of a learning game for them, probably. So it's some measure of how these two teams compare and what to expect going forward, but it's not going to really decide all of it. It will decide the division if New England wins. Matt Harmon today, reception perception. Might know Matt from,
numerous
out there
appearances
or from
on our shows,
being with us a few times. Has a chart of the top 10 tight end yards per route seasons since 2015, with 150 routes or more. And in the last 10 years, Dalton Kincaid ranks 4th this year of all tight ends in the league. Rob Gronkowski, 2016, is 1st. 2019, George Kittle is 2nd. 2019, Mark Andrews is 3rd. Kincaid does not have and neither did Gronk for what it's worth, the route quantity per drop back or just overall as like Kittle or other guys on this, Kittle a couple times on this list did, or even Travis Kelce. 2020, Travis Kelce is 10th. That's as high as he gets. Yards per route run, Kincaid, 2.89. That's a big number for a tight end. It's pretty big overall. I mean, JSN, I think, is like at 4 yards per route run this year, which is crazy. And that's, of course, a wide receiver. So what you're getting here is that, well, as Matt put it, Kincaid has, quote, clearly been the Bills' most impactful pass catcher this season, end quote. The other side of that is, though, that he doesn't run that many routes. He hasn't played that many snaps.
Just not on the field that much, right?
He was coming back from injury last week, and that's to be remembered here. But I think the question is, dare I bring up, pass catchers for the millionth time? But having seen this chart, it's impressive for Kincaid. Do you think the Bills will or should go further with him? Like more snaps, more routes? Because I think we know what the expense is of doing that. Because they want to be heavy and run it, and Kincaid doesn't really align with that. He's not slight, but he's not Hawes for one guy. He's not
right. No, he's not.
He's not going to be in your power formation.
He's not. You can work with him in 3 tight end sets, but the other 2 are the heavy lifters. The season began with a lot of that, and he was really good. That Baltimore game, remember right away. He's like blocking a guy right out of bounds, and we were talking about he's bigger and stronger. Look, he listened to them. And then, the injuries bug started, and I think his usage is as much. I mean, I don't know. They probably would never give you a straight answer if they were directly asked in a public setting, McDermott or Bean, I suppose, but it's more a McDermott or I guess a Joe Brady question. I feel like his playtime is perhaps as much load management as it is formational, like what they want to be about. I feel like he's so effective that it would be almost derelict to not want to use him more. I think they want to be careful about using him more because he's valuable, and they want to just keep it on a pitch count because they know he's vulnerable to getting dinged. He's had just different things like really all year and going back to last year. So it's a great sign that the hamstring is no longer bothering him. It's not even listed on the injury report anymore. And he got through last week and looked, he looked fine. I was really worried about what kind of form he might be in by game time last Sunday after what he looked like early in the week with the big brace on and everything. It's like, wow, this is not encouraging. But, he made some really nice plays in that game. And he had a big game against New England back in week 5. He had 6 for 108 against New England. Didn't get in the end zone, but I feel like them not using him more is to protect him as much as it's we want to run all this stuff. Because I think if they wanted to use him more, they would throw to him more out of 3 tight ends even, because that should be that is in theory the real advantage of having him in the first place. Go back to the draft pick, right? We're going to get 2 guys on the field that are tight ends. You're going to have to risk it. It's going to look like run, but we're going to catch you in a matchup. Man, you put Hawes and Knox and he on the field. maybe even Gilliam too for effect, and run Kincaid down the seam. Like I feel like that's a win for me. So
it sounds like I'm the Steelers now, though.
I know, but I just think they're not using him as much. More, it's not philosophical. I think it's more health. But that's just a guess on my part, really. It's more I want to have faith that they would want to use him, recognizing how effective and dangerous he is when he's on the field, that they would use it more if they trusted it. And
he's kind of always been, would you say, part-time this year, though?
Yeah.
This last game is off the injury, so I wouldn't want to overread it. But it's always been this thing with Kincaid where, they sort of work him in.
That's why I think that. I think even in weeks when he's not on the injury report or not coming off something or anything, I think they're just being careful, which is not a great thing going. If I'm right, that's not great going forward. If that's a guy you want to commit to, 50-year option, whatever, right? Second contract. If you're into year 3 of his career and you're already, in a place where, again, if I'm correct with what I'm asserting here, where you're load managing him, that might not age well at all.
We talked about the 5th-year option for a minute recently. What are the odds right now that they do that? 90? Is that high? I mean, it might depend on what happens, but that's why I'm asking now. We don't know what's going to happen. If he goes down again.
I feel like that might be high because let's see what happens from now through hopefully February. Does he play them all? Right? Can they lean into him because they've been saving him and they're going to use him even more? And maybe some of this 3 tight end passing stuff will come back and be a part of what they do because they trust him. He's healthy. And if he can finish the year without, limping around, then it might get a little easier to say, well, at least for now, let's do the 5th-year option. We then still have the option to do a contract extension. But if he doesn't make it through and plays, misses time or, again, only playing him 30% of the snaps or something because they are worried about his health, that's not a guy I'd want to make a commitment to. I'd want to use that to my advantage as much as I can right now and then probably make a cold, calculated business decision about it down the road when I have to. That's how I would view it.
That'll be interesting. I mean, it's a first-round pick, and maybe it depends on how he holds up physically, what happens here between now and the end, whether they win as a team. If you win, I think maybe saying yes to a lot of these ideas is easier.
Right.
If you do. Hunter Henry, the tight end on the other side here on Sunday. You're a big Hunter Henry guy, I think. Had a couple of catches in the first meeting. And he's been around a long time. He's had a pretty good career, Hunter Henry.
If by big Hunter Henry guy you mean have confused him with Austin Hooper and maybe some other tight end for their entire careers, then yeah, that's me.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't know who he is?
I know who he is now because he's on New England. But mostly, were they even on the same team at one time?
Well, they are now.
Oh, okay. There it is. Thanks.
Yeah. I don't know about before. Is Dalton Kincaid the skeleton key for the Bills offense? 803-0550 is the number. What does he have catches-wise this year? I mean, he's been hurt, which is always, a possibility. But maybe they can get more out of him than they've gotten. Kincaid has 33 catches in his 9 games this year for 489 yards. Yards per reception is pretty good. 803-0550 for your calls. Bulldog might have made history today. I'm not sure. I didn't ask you at the time. Was today the first time in your life? I want to guess no because you ran a pizza place. Is today the first time in your life that you ate anchovies?
Probably not. They probably have been slipped to me the way that you slipped them to me before. But I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put it past.
Sauce.
Well, yeah, like at a restaurant or even. I don't know that my wife would try to do that, but she might.
A good restaurant Caesar salad has anchovies, if not anchovy paste.
Right. Well, that Caesar salad we had.
That's right.
We were out on your birthday dinner.
Okay,
had
well,
that, and that. So
it's not even your first time eating anchovies around me.
No, that's right. We just a few weeks ago.
How about this? 23 years in.
But this guy made me lunch today.
I cooked for Bulldog.
He made me lunch.
Well,
it did take a while. I was starving in here Tuesday and Wednesday during the show.
Okay.
Because you promised. You said you were bringing this dish you were making, and then 2 days in a row you didn't. So
I didn't make it until last night.
I was weak. I was weak yesterday. If I anything I
Really?
said wrong the last 2 days in the 6 o'clock hour, I that's my get out of jail free card. I was tired.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't cook for you. I cooked for myself and my family.
And saved some for me.
I saved some for you because it was the kind of dish I felt like my wife and daughter would not eat. I mean, my wife's a vegetarian, so she's not eating chicken with chicken stock and anchovies, obviously. My daughter just would decide not to like it without even trying it. And so my son loved it. Now, he almost ate the whole amount, so I couldn't bring you any. But yes.
I would have accepted that as as an outcome, just so you know. I mean, I would not have been down on you if he liked it so much that he ate it all. But it was not. It was a very effective portion size too. It was like the perfect amount for a pre-show meal.
And I made sure to sit in here while you ate so that, I knew you would eat it. So there was no, I actually hate this, but I don't want this to be awkward.
I hope you appreciate it, too. You brought a very nice, takeaway container. It's not a Tupperware, but it's glass, but it's the same concept.
Glass.
Right?
Only the best.
I did not microwave it in that dish.
You could have.
I know I could have. But sometimes this is more with the plastic containers than the glass containers. Like the plastic, you microwave something like that in a plastic container, and it just feels to me like it's very hard to get it completely clean again.
Okay.
And I just didn't want anything to. I just let me just dump this in a dish that I can microwave here and clean this up for you, and I did, and so I tried to be considerate.
Did you get wet doing all of that with the roof leaking out there for the third day?
I did have a thought that as it's leaking so much more than it ever has that I was mindful once I had heated the food up and was walking back here with it. I thought, what would happen if I walked close enough to that and the roof dripped into the food? What am I going to say to you? I'm sorry, I've got roof leak water in the.
Yeah, you can't eat
I'm going to go ahead and not eat this. I'm sorry. Thank you for bringing it.
That might be worse than picking it up off the floor.
But no, I don't believe I got wet.
Good. John is with us. Hello, John.
Hey, how you doing? I'm calling about Kincaid. I personally think we should pick up the fifth-year option. Most of the time, tight ends take, a good 2 to 3 years to really settle in. And even with the injuries, I think they're doing the right thing by, if they pick up the fifth-year option on that guy. I think he's a good player. I think that, we're doing the right thing trying to protect his health over the long run. And if we keep him on this team for a good 5-10 years even, we could get some production out of him, similar to Kelsey, down the road if he grows into the position a lot more.
Thanks, John. Yeah, the point about his inexperience is fair. It's 3 years. He's also 26 already.
He's not a super
so
young,
he's not young for
super young guy.
3 years.
It's part of the reason why the injury stuff is already more concerning to me than because he was the guy that didn't work out at the combine because of stuff in college even. He didn't play a lot to begin with. There's just a lot of things there that could add up to me to proceed with caution. I think if he stays healthy through the rest of the year, I think it's almost a no-brainer. But if there's still more bumps, I don't know. I look forward to talking about it more as we go, because I've already said everything I really have to say about it. I do think it's not an easy layup to me to just do it. Sitting here right now today, the next 6 weeks or 2 months could really matter a lot to it.
They got to get something out of him that matters here in big games. This is my chance to point out, since we're on the subject of Dalton Kincaid's age and who plays tonight, that Kyle Pitts is a year younger than Kincaid, even though he's been in the league for 2 more seasons. This is his 5th year, and Kincaid's 3rd.
Right.
But he's a year younger. I don't know how that math works. Weird stuff. Weird, wacky stuff.
Oh, boy.
Falcons at Bucks tonight. Again, sorry for the confusion. The line presented by FanDuel coming up at 5:49 tonight, rescheduled from earlier because of a technical matter. We've got the update next, and we'll talk some more. 803-0550 for your thoughts. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, WGR.
at practice today with a new injury report. Christian Benford added to the injury report with a toe injury. He was limited today's practice, along with Joey Bosa, Terrell Bernard, Spencer Brown, and Joshua Palmer. Mitch Trubisky did not practice today due to illness. The Bills will have one last practice before getting ready for the New England Patriots on Sunday. Around the NFL, Thursday Night Football tonight, the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kickoff for this NFC South matchup set for 8:20 tonight. Pittsburgh Steelers pass rusher T.J. Watt has been hospitalized as there's further evaluation going on for an issue with his lung, the team announcing that earlier today. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens reached a 3-year extension with defensive tackle Travis Jones worth $40.5 million. Game night for the Buffalo Sabres. They take on the last-place Vancouver Canucks tonight. Goaltender Colton Ellis placed on injured reserve. That allows the Sabres to call up forward Trevor Kuntar from Rochester. Josh Norris will not play tonight. He was out Tuesday due to an illness. Alex Lyon expected to start in net for Buffalo tonight. Puck drop for Sabres and Canucks set for 10 o'clock. Pregame gets started here at 9 here on WGR. Those are your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Derek Kramer. You're listening to WGR.
I would say for Buffalo, if they lose this game on Sunday, Buffalo has been thinking about Kansas City for the last 5 years. And in 2025, if you lose 2 games to the Patriots, and now you're like, oh, we didn't win the division, we're a wild card team because now the Patriots are the team in this division, yeah, that's a real problem. They will have to reset.
If you're Buffalo, if you're that fan base, if you're that owner, the Pagulas, do you say, okay, we have to fumigate?
All right, I'm getting there. It's Michael Holley and someone else. Mike Giardi tomorrow, by the way, with us. We like Mike. But it was earlier, this is the second time today, where I'm sort of like, I'm up in my chair about this game. The first was, I mean, if you're watching, you can see it, although this is how I always sit. The first was the Diggs presser, the scrum, where he's talking about just like being an underdog and disrespected and all of this. That's coming. I mean, they're a 1-point underdog despite having a 2-game lead and a win over the Bills this year. Brace yourself for that if New England wins. And then it's like, I've got the accent back. I've got, what happens to Buffalo. People are about this to different degrees and in different ways. For me, maybe the best part of the last 5 years was not having to listen to Boston. Mm-hmm. Like, at all.
Right.
Maybe about hockey. But just all those guys, no offense to Mike, or nothing personal really here. It's just all those shows, radio stuff, I mean, we were just so inferior. And then the last 5 years, it went the other way. I mean, decidedly. And I don't know. I didn't feel any real spite toward the team, and I have cousins who are dyed-in-the-wool Patriots fans that live in New England. Not them, but I just didn't want to hear that.
Right.
I didn't want to hear those clips. And the clips are back. Fumigate.
Yeah, right. Fumigate. Yeah, I'm thinking about an interaction I had with the manager of the hotel I stayed at twice now, right near Fenway Park, right on Com Ave, like just we're not 2-minute walk to Fenway. We went there last November for a concert to see Sturgill Simpson at a theater at Fenway Park, and the guy checking us into the hotel was just a beauty. There was a group from Syracuse ahead of us. He saw me in a Bills hat even before this group was clear of his desk, and he's like, "Oh, he's yelling at me. These people are from Syracuse. What and he was great. We were giving it to each other, and I'm like, I kind of like your guy, but it's going to take a while. Then we saw him in the summer again.
This guy is May?
No, this guy's a guy that works at the hotel. He's a hotel manager, but he's talking up the page. We're just giving each other grief. He's giving me grief about Brady. Okay, it's just trash talking. We're just two dudes. And then we saw him again in the summer, and he's like, I think, the talk May sounds really good. And I'm like, give him another year. I think, I can't. I don't know when I'll see if I'll stay in this hotel again, but I'm not eager to get an earful because he's, they got us right now, at least, for the time being. So I'm not going to see this guy after this game immediately, but,
I'd never go back.
In my head, I can't lose 2 to you now. I got this guy at the hotel. Anyway, all of it. Like, I've enjoyed it's good-natured and fun when you're the team that's dominating it, right? Like, he can give me guff about Brady, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. What's going on now, buddy? Well, that didn't last that long. It did not age that well because you were already back on top of me.
I can't believe you would be in this conversation.
I know, but it was. I'm telling you, it was the most good-natured. I really liked this guy.
You were up for it.
I was up for it.
They caught you at the right time.
And it was...
Right guy, right time.
It was real, and he remembered us this summer when he saw us coming into the hotel. Like, Owen and I, we can make an impression, I think. He's like, we've got Buffalo, Anyway, he's in my head hearing that clip from Holly and talking about all this, that they're on top of us.
See, you're the better for it. Because I know how I would be. I got the Buffalo ID, my driver, give him my license, check us in, and he starts going in on Drake May and Allen or whatever he said to you. I'd be like, okay. Where are my keys?
Yeah.
Just like I would not.
It might have gone differently.
Probably have engaged.
If it hadn't started with the group from Syracuse that were ahead of us, and I sort of felt like, I don't know, I don't think they recognized me as like a radio guy or anything, but I just sort of felt like I need to stick up for Buffalo right now.
Okay.
So
You're not that big in Syracuse?
I just sort of played. It's possible they knew, but it didn't seem that way to me.
Syracuse is a Giants town.
Well, these people were Bills fans, as it turned out.
Okay.
But I don't know if they knew or if it maybe wasn't,
I'm sure
whatever.
It's pretty split.
Yeah. But
maybe some New England, too. New England fans are everywhere.
Because you're right. It is not normally a thing. Like, I don't go looking for that kind of stuff.
No, I know.
But it just hit me. It just was good. And, the guy ended up upgrading my wife and I to a bigger room at no charge.
There you go.
It was just,
there you go.
It was all good. It just was really good.
That's what you do it for.
It was a really good interaction.
If you can see, this is what I'm missing out on in life.
Yeah.
If you can get into that conversation, maybe you get an upgrade.
Yeah.
Like having a fun time with the guy who's got the controls.
If I'm kind of jerky about it and just sort of shut down like you're sort of, saying you might have, then he probably doesn't click the button and go like, hey, you know what I can do for you?
I don't think it's jerky. I want to defend myself.
Okay, well, whatever. Just not engaging.
Just closed.
Yeah, right. Not engaging in it. I did, and he, I'm going to get you the room with the big view of the Citgo sign. Okay, great. Thank you.
Is that right? That's what he did?
We had a huge room with like a sitting area and a huge window, and that sign was right. It's a
big sign.
It was right there. It was amazing. It was really, really cool. Yeah.
This will be the 4th meeting between Josh Allen and Drake May. The second of the previous 3 was Week 18 last year, when they each played for a minute. Allen played 1 play and handed off, right?
Yep.
And May played a series, perhaps?
I think
3
that's right.
plays?
Yep.
And left, if it was even that. So the game goes down in their stats as, win or loss. The Bills won the game. No, the Patriots won the game with Joe Milton, which cost them the number 1 overall pick. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a loss on Allen's career, even though he didn't do anything. There was a regular season game here last year that was competitive that May started for the Patriots, and then there's the game here this year that the Patriots won, which I was at, right on the Patriot sideline, or 3 rows from
very close
from the sideline.
Yep.
Around fans who were giving it to Stephon Diggs.
A Diggs observation deck.
Which does not work. Speaking of engaging with people.
Yeah, don't do that.
You can engage with all the hotel managers you want. Maybe you get an upgrade.
Yeah,
you see a Citgo sign.
He really was not going to harm the Bills.
He was just going to make it worse for people who were ragging on him.
Right.
Don't you got to know what people are like. Don't. I forgot the word. Happy fun ball. Don't mess with. It's not mess with. Don't.
Taunt.
Don't taunt Happy Fun Ball. If I've ever said anything important that you've taken to heart, this is it. Don't taunt Happy Funball. Don't taunt Stephon Diggs. Don't give him anything, any fuel, any incentive, any extra. Do not give him anything.
That's its own thing, right? That was like I'm thinking of Bag of Glass, and that's a different skit, right?
It's a different skit. SNL, Happy Funball was a commercial.
Right.
Which is like, it's
Bag of
Jan
Glass was
Hooks.
a skit with Dan Aykroyd, yeah.
Yeah, this is a little later. Jan Hooks, Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey, just like dressed as kids playing with a ball. And then there were like a laundry list of all the things you should not do.
And maybe like shrapnel flies out of it at one point.
It's basically like every drug ad now. Hey, here's a drug. Go talk to your gastroenterologist. Like we've all got one of those. And then here are 16 things that are bad for you that could happen. The lawyers have gone to work. And then at the end of the list, they say, and there's more that we don't have time for. Every drug ad, which of course there's one in every commercial break on every show you watch. Those just, it's just like,
yeah.
I mean, I appreciate you hearing me out on this stuff. You're sick of it by now, probably, because all I do is complain about the drug ads and how ridiculous, arcane they are. I'm sure every one of them, somebody's got that. Somebody has moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. And that's exactly how they would describe themselves, as having moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. What's going on with your skin? I've got moderate to severe. Do not. Next time, just cut me off. I go insane at these commercials. I'd rather listen to Troy Aikman talk about fourth down. I think. I know I would. I can use that.
Sure.
I can use that. Unlike
poor Troy Aikman.
No, not. He gets $1 million a game.
I still really
get online.
You're just landing punch after punch on Troy Aikman, and
okay. Well,
I'm gonna stick up for him a little.
There's one thing I'll say I like. You want something I like about him?
No.
You'd rather just
no. Go ahead.
Consider me.
I'm just kidding around. Go ahead.
What did you say before? Jerky for not engaging with the hotel guy, or one-way traffic on Troy Aikman? I saw this from somebody else, and I couldn't disagree with it. Maybe I wanted to, but I couldn't. Those two seem like they like each other. Like there's sort of a connection with Buck and Aikman that I think is probably real.
Yeah.
And with Aikman, if this is not the same point, I don't think takes himself too seriously. Like when he makes all these points, quote points about strategy, and this can either amuse me or make me feel worse, but he'll refer to how, like, I know I'm going to get destroyed for this. He kind of maybe knows he's wrong, but doesn't want to give in. And there's something about that.
I don't know. I don't know what his motivation is there, and I don't know. My antenna aren't up about it as much because I've grown to like him, and so if that's your default setting, you're probably not going to notice the things that would annoy you. But the overall point, the reason I like him now, I've always kind of liked him, but I think this point about he and Buck is exactly right, because Buck used to drive me crazy, and now I don't even care about wide open anymore from him.
What about as good as it gets?
You're right, but it has never stood out to me.
It will now.
But the two of them, I think the taking yourself seriously thing is the key. I think they have mellowed as they've gotten older, since they've been at ESPN, that I feel like they're a much more comfortable listen together. And I really appreciate how they work together. I just think it's a good team. So they've gotten to the point where I don't even mind the things that used to drive me nuts about them, because overall it's a win. Sort of like when Brett Musburger was still going and he botched the name of somebody, be like, I don't even care. It's Brett Musburger. Like, I'm sort of there with Buck and Aikman at this point. Like, I just like hearing them together.
Interesting.
I think it's a really good team.
Plus, Buck and Kevin Burkhardt do that thing where they open a conversation on camera and then they go to their partner and then they look back at the camera and sort of give you this weird smile. I'm all team Dave Pash when it comes to this.
And
when I worked with Dave, he was this way, and 25 years later, he's still this way. He never looks back at the camera after he tosses to his partner. You know what he does like a normal person? He looks at his partner when they're talking, like he's listening to them. Try that.
The Burkhardt is now the new top offender of wide open.
Oh, it's top of his lungs.
He cannot. He has to say it. I mean, absolutely has to say it. Wide open and pushed out of bounds at the 31. Like, someone's close enough to him that you don't even get wide open out of your mouth before you're telling us he's pushed out of bounds. So how wide open was he? Exactly. Think about what you're saying. Open is okay. Open works. You can say open receiver at the 31. No, wide open. He's hammered by 3 guys immediately. That is, therefore, exactly contrary to wide open, Kevin. Stop it. See, this still drives me crazy, but Buck has got to get out of jail free card on it now. I'm okay with. I don't mind.
You're not getting me to do Sky Rizzi and Kevin Burkhardt in the same segment. The Line, presented by FanDuel, is next on WGR. Welcome back. Paul Hamilton will join us at 6. The Line. It's here. Presented by FanDuel, official sports betting partner of WGR. This is where we look at tonight's game and maybe another game or two, perhaps Buffalo at New England, from a betting standpoint, using FanDuel, if you like, for that purpose. Bulldog's excited about some of the names on the Anytime Touchdown menu tonight.
Holy moly. There are some deep cuts down here at the bottom of this list. And Kirk Cousins is down there with a lot of these guys. I got to work up to, I don't even know, Tez Johnson at plus 850 before I know a name. Nathan Carter, Jamal Agnew, Felipe Franks?
Felipe Franks.
I feel like I see a C in there, but
No, they're all E's.
I need glasses.
Felipe
Franks.
Franks.
Okay, thank you. That makes more sense. It's a more common name, I guess.
Felipe.
Taekwon Guantanamo?
Tegan Quitoriano. This is a tight end who I think scored a touchdown in a night game once for Houston. So maybe you'll like him.
Why does this every time we do this segment and I open this up, the full page, like all people you can bet on, it locks up on me. I don't know why that is. Anyway, I don't know. Is there somebody? How about Kadero Hodge? Should I throw it anytime touchdown? Kadero, it's plus 1,900.
No, you shouldn't.
Don't do that.
I don't know who I want.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Drummond on the Falcons that some have been talking about as maybe filling in for Drake London.
Okay.
Dylan Drummond at 5-1 to score.
Yep.
I don't think I'm going to play it. This is fantasy life. I'm going to ride with Kyle Pitts tonight. I know. Who does that? It's in the room, I'm sure. Kyle Pitts. Not to score a touchdown, but just in a couple of fantasy playoff leagues. I'm going to cross my fingers.
In all seriousness, I do like Tampa passing. Like Mayfield, you want to get, for me, you want to get to like plus 250. Over 250 is like plus 174 for Baker. And I think with Evans back and against Atlanta, I think that to me is realistic. You can push it to 275 if you want. That's plus 300. But I feel like the 250 or more is a solid play on Baker.
Let's pick the game, 5.5. I'll take Tampa. They haven't been good. Cousins, though, this game was a wild shootout in a Thursday night game last year in Atlanta. They also played a very close game, maybe week 1 this year in Atlanta. But I'm going to trust that the Bucs are just that much better than the Falcons. Give me Tampa minus 5.5. Medium level of conviction.
Tampa could not get to the quarterback at all when they were here, right? Like they had there was not much pass rush.
They just lost at home to the Saints.
I think I'll go against you. I'm going to take Atlanta and Cousins. Not having London really hurts for this, obviously, but I think if Cousins can stand back there and not be under a lot of duress, that they might stay in the game.
But they have Dylan Drummond.
Sure.
All right, I'm on the Bucs. You're on the Falcons.
I'll take the Falcons plus the 5.5.
5.5. The line presented by FanDuel. Paul Hamilton after sports. The Sabres are in Vancouver for a 10 p.m. game tonight. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR.
Game night for the Buffalo Sabres. They take on the last-place Vancouver Canucks tonight. Goaltender Colton Ellis placed on injured reserve earlier today. The team called up forward Trevor Kuntar from Rochester. Josh Norris will not play tonight. He was out on Tuesday due to an illness. Alex Lyon, the expected starter for Buffalo for this game. Puck drop for Sabres and Canucks set for 10 o'clock tonight. Pregame gets started at 9 here on WGR. To football, the Buffalo Bills back on the practice field today. The Barnes from injury report. Injured for help, call 1-800-8-million. Christian Benford, a new addition to the injury report with a toe injury. He was limited with Joey Bosa, Terrell Bernard, Spencer Brown, and Joshua Palmer. Mitchell Trubisky did not practice today due to an illness as well. Around the NFL, Thursday night football between the Atlanta Falcons and Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. Kickoff set for 8:20 for this NFC South showdown. Pittsburgh Steelers pass rusher TJ Watt has been admitted to a local hospital as they have a further evaluation going on for his lung, the team announcing that earlier today. This holiday season, we are kicking off Mission Give Where You Live to benefit the Buffalo City Mission, powered by NYSEG. Going on now through December 19th, you can donate brand new sweatshirts, sweatpants, hats, gloves, scarves, and non-perishable food items to help keep our community warm and fed. Just stop by any Dash's Market location and drop off your donation to the Mission Give Where You Live donation bin. If you're shopping online, you can also give through the Buffalo City Mission's Amazon wish list. Sponsored by the Barnes Firm and Dash's Market. You can get more details on our website at WGR550.com. This update is brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet, celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. I'm Derek Kramer for WGR Sports Radio 550.
Just giving everybody a few extra seconds with the song. Hope you enjoyed that. How could you not? Paul Hamilton with us now on the West Her Hotline. Paul, how are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
What's your day like when the Sabres are out west and you're here with us? Are you you get a nap in or?
No, I catch up with appointments. Of course, I write a pregame article for our website. Do a little research on the game, what's going on, and that type of thing. So it's. I've also been planning my travel for the rest of the season, so that has to get done, whether it's flights or hotels and that kind of thing. So this is the time I can start doing things like that because I don't have games and practices.
Lots of rumors about what the Sabres might be doing here or planning to do in the next week or so. You brought up when we last spoke how it was time. I mean, maybe it's long past time for there to be organizational changes. And I know you're not a rumors guy, and I haven't seen anything from like the big insiders here.
But there feels like there's stuff everywhere, Paul.
Everybody seems to think that changes are afoot.
And the thing is, now is the time. Look at the players when they're talking to them on these interviews, whether I've been live with them or watching them on TV. They've just had the life sucked out of them. I mean, you can't keep going like this. It's been 6 years. I mean, and some of them have been here for the whole time of the Adams regime. And it's like there's no hope at all. And he gets frozen. And things just go south, but nothing happens. It's just the same old, same old, same old, same old. And it's just like the life is sucked out of him. And, you know, if for some reason he's still around when the end of the year rolls around, with that, I guess, would mean he's going to get a contract extension because that means he would have done the trade deadline, which would blow me away. You know, it's going to be a mass exodus out of here. It's going to be just like it was with Reinhart, Bogosian, and Eichel and that group.
Ristolainen was a part of that too.
Get us all out of here, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And you're going to be right back to square one. You can't do that, and it has to be. The time has come. The time is long past coming, and now is the time. It seems like maybe finally the owner has realized this, but it'd be just like the Sabres to win 3 games in a row and to shoot that plan up. So,
right. Should we want them to win 3 games in a row?
Right. Yeah,
I'm conflicted.
I'm torn, Paul.
Yeah, if they do that, then there's probably an Adams contract extension coming. So
I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's up to you.
Yeah, they won. They won their last game. They've got 2 more on this trip before they come home. I think a week from tonight they host Philly, their first game back after this lengthy trip. I think I have that right. What? We'll have plenty of time to discuss this if and when these changes actually do come, assuming it's sooner rather than later. What does change if they? Let's take one hypothetical exit off the turnpike here. Adams is out, and maybe Kekalainen seems like a reasonable idea. He's got experience. If he wants the job, maybe he's the easiest, even in an interim. Like, what effect does it have on the group? Like, do you think that it's a real sort of energy boost that, like, hey, we're out from under this thing? I do think Adams is the subject of a lot of the derision that the players might hear from their peers within the league, that he still has this job. So I don't know, like, how much credibility do they gain if they actually make the move?
I think some players are blown away themselves that it still is happening. I don't think there's any question about that. So I think it's a weight off your shoulders that, well, maybe there is change on the horizon. Maybe there is hope at the end of the tunnel. Because I believe Rasmus Dahlin and Thompson, when they have said they want to be part of the solution. But how can you believe there is a solution on the horizon if this guy is still around? If I'm a player, I can't believe that. And then I'm like, well, as much as I would like to be part of the solution here, I just can't take it anymore. You know, and so I think you're given hope if it happens. And even if it is somebody on interim basis, which I would almost guarantee that it would start that way.
Right.
You know, that it's all right, interim basis, and the guy's been a GM.
Yeah.
Maybe they would just make him the GM. I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah,
actually.
I only say that about him, like, if he wants it, because there's a big difference from, flying in and out to places. I understand he was in Carolina over the weekend. That might be why Trevor Kruntar got signed, watching Rochester play last weekend. That's a different job than, like, being here running the Sabres 24/7. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he's eager to get back into that. If he is, then obviously the door would be open.
Well, I know Adams said that he was going to be based in Columbus, and I'm going to be quite honest with you. I see him around almost all the time.
Yeah.
It's rare I don't see him. I mean, he's around almost all the time, so I don't know how much time he's spending in Columbus.
Right.
Doesn't seem like much at all. So he's basically been around full time. Now, if he was the one that signed Kuntar, well, maybe that tells you something right there. We don't know. We're not there.
Right.
But we do know he was scouting him, and at the very least suggested that he be signed. But maybe he was the one that did sign him. I don't know. As I said, I'm not there. But it's. He's certainly qualified for the job. And getting back to your original question, I think it would be a huge weight off the players and give them some hope that down the line that maybe it isn't going to be so bad here.
Yeah.
Paul, if this goes back to our conversation on Tuesday as well and what you said then, if the organization, if the owner has decided to make this change or others, what does it mean to wait until they get home? Like, would that be customary? Would that be unusual for them to not do the thing they want to do until they're back?
It's not unusual. It's not usual. I kind of agree with you because you said, why not now? And I can't argue with you. I mean, if you're going to do it, do it. Why do you have to wait till they get back to Buffalo or wait to see how the road trip goes? You haven't been watching the last 5.5 years? You need to see how the road trip goes? Huh? I don't care if they won all 6.
Right.
You got to see how the road trip goes? I mean, come on. So, I don't see the point in waiting. And I don't see why it took you until the middle of this road trip, if it did. or when you made the decision, if you've made one. He has – this whole organization has trouble making decisions. I mean, the coach can't decide what goalie he wants to put in. The GM can't decide anything. He's just frozen. The owner can't decide who the GM should be or anybody else in the organization. So, I mean, that's the way they roll in this organization. Nobody can make a decision.
Well, mentioned Kuntar and how I came to learn that Kekalainen was watching him. I don't know that Adams wasn't, but I know Kekalainen was last weekend when Rochester was in Carolina. What do you haven't been to Rochester since he's been there, right? I don't know if you've seen him play.
No.
I mean, I can offer some degree of a scouting report on the kid. I mean, he's producing offensively for the first time really in his AHL career this year in Rochester, but this is not a guy that you're looking – he's energy guy, bottom six type guy, I think, is what you're looking at in Trevor Kuntar.
Yeah, he tends to sit in the penalty box, which means he gets involved. That means he's around battles.
Yeah.
He's probably in front of the net causing havoc. He does lead the team in goals, the American Hockey League team, Rochester. But as you said, that's not normal for him, even if you look at his college numbers. But, not afraid to get his nose in there and get it dirty. And, is he a guy that's going to be a career NHLer? We don't know, but he might be just a guy that you can count on to come up and a guy you can count on with your prospects in the American Hockey League. Those guys are important. You talk about the numbers Levi put up last year. Look at the defense that was in front of him. They had a lot of career AHL veterans that played very well in front of him when they are in the AHL. And it's important to have those guys with your prospects. So I think Kuntar would be somebody that you would say, we want him around our guys. And we want him to rub off on our guys. So that's the kind of guy you're looking for. I don't think you're looking for a guy that's going to be probably in the NHL long term, but can fill in when you need him.
Do you think he'll go in tonight? I mean, I know you're not there, but I understand he was skating as an extra in the game day skate, so maybe that's not a great sign.
Yeah, that's Matthew Fairburn said that he was down there. He said that he was skating as an extra, so it's not looking like it's the same lineup, which would have Dunn centering the energy line and Kozak up one line. And Kozak is fine doing that. I mean, again, it's a fill-in type of thing. Ideally, you would want Kozak centering your energy line, and I think he would be a very good person to be that guy long term. I mean, if he and Mallenstein were on that energy line forever, even if Dunn were on there with them, I probably wouldn't have any problem with that. Because those guys go on together, and they tend to bottle the other team up in their own zone. Now, they don't put the puck in the net a lot, but if you keep doing that, that helps the other lines. If you're constantly getting in there on the forecheck and getting in on the defense, now you got the defense kind of glaring over their shoulder a little bit, like where are these guys coming from? And I think it helps the other lines on a forecheck too. So if that became the Sabres' full-time energy line for a while, I'd have zero problem with that.
Norris scratched in Edmonton. What did you say, Bulldog? Illness,
and
soreness.
Right, yeah.
Should we remain calm here?
He pulled something, according to Lindy Ruff.
Right.
And that's all he said. I was watching the interview with reporters, and you know what? He said tweak something.
Yeah.
That wasn't anything to do with what he had earlier in the season.
Great.
But the illness sounded like it was more than the tweaking.
Paul, I don't mean to be a jerk, but I swear to God, Norris could be walking around with a flaming spear sticking out of his shoulder, and they would say it's not related to a previous injury. I don't know. I don't say it has to be that, but it just whatever.
I don't think I want it to be unrelated.
Right? I don't know. The poor guy. He's just one thing after another. Hopefully, I did hear he has a chance to play Sunday. So
it's interesting. In the 4 games he's played since, he not that plus minus is the end all be all. He has a point in every game. Points in every game, and he's -7 in his last 3 games. I mean, I've seen him play some pretty bad defensive hockey so far, but he hasn't played a lot of hockey either.
Right.
This is almost like training camp for him.
Right.
But he also has contributed offensively at the other end. A lot of it has been on the power play.
Paul, what do you think about Krebs? I mean, I know the Greenway thing didn't stick this time with Thompson and Tuck. It's Krebs now, and I mean, they got a win, and Tuck scored in overtime. Not that Krebs had anything to do with it, but Thompson scored. Boy, Evan Bouchard, who's kind of a guy that gets a hard time from Oilers fans, probably was eating it pretty hard after that play against Thompson the other night. But Krebs on the wing there is maybe curious to a lot of observers.
It was him, too, that got beat by Tuck to open up both.
Right.
You know, Tuck went in and won the battle and got the Sabres possession. But anyway, all right, Krebs is an interesting story because he's always hustling. He will show up in any battle. He will show up in any fight. He is there for the fight. When that schmozzle around the net that I pointed out last time I was on with you guys, where everybody was going wild, he started it and was in the middle of it. But at the end of the day, I got to get some production out of him.
Yeah.
He's got nothing. No goals in 30 games. The reason he's -7 is because he's never on for a goal for. And, you know, so it's either a goal against or he's playing well even but it's not for goals for. I got to get some production out of a forward, especially that is a gifted passer like he is. He can't have no goals and 8 assists. I'm sorry. So that's where I am with him. I got to get some type of production out of him, and I'm not getting it. As much as he hustles, but I can find other guys that can hustle and stick their nose in things too. So as far as being up there with Thompson and Tuck, no.
Ellis to IR, does this maybe, no offense to the guy, but solve a problem for them temporarily in terms of the goalies?
Well, Lindy was sarcastic about it. I guess he's tired of the media and everything because he goes, well, if we didn't have 3 goalies, we wouldn't have Luukkonen sitting in the locker room as the E-Bug goalie, all dressed and ready to go.
I don't want to hear that from him.
No.
I didn't either.
No.
I thought he embarrassed himself there.
Because his implication, I think, the other day was that the goalies
he's
are
sick of it. Yeah, right.
And now it's like,
and it's like
joke's on us.
I thought he embarrassed himself by saying that. It's just like Ellis is on IR because you can retroactive it back to the game, and they'll go through the protocol, which will take him through his 7 days. He actually, from what I was reading, I think Lindy told the media today that he's feeling much better, but they're going to go through the protocol.
Right.
You know, they're going to do the right thing with it. So, you know, it seems like after he gets through protocol, he'll be right back out there again. But right now, at least you get his roster spot. And, you know, Lyon apparently had gotten hurt in the morning skate, but came back. So it was like looking like it might be Luukkonen and nobody, you know. But Lyon did come back out, and it appears like he's going to be ready to start from everything that I'm reading.
Okay.
And somewhere in the midst of all this, Roseanne showed back up. Like, I tried to turn the game on the other night. I'm like, I just talked to Paul like 3 hours ago. What does that see? Owen saw it first, like, I think that's Roseanne. I'm like, no, he's not there.
Yeah, no, he is. Well, they were in Belleville. So Kuntar actually took a ride share or a car to Toronto from Belleville and then got a flight to Vancouver. And Roseanne might have been on the other side of Belleville. And, you know, before the game, and done pretty much the same thing. To tell people, so people understand, Ostlund could not come back until he played Belleville.
Right.
It's a new rule that because there were too many teams that were sending guys to the AHL but not sending them there.
Just paper, right? Yeah, like here's a transaction
with the NHL team, but not. So they made a rule that you have to play at least one game with the AHL team. So Ostlund did have to play last night. Now he's eligible to come back. They were probably thinking too, all right, we're not going to use, so Kuntar might be better for this. If you're not going to use the guy.
Spare guy in case somebody. Right.
So now Ostlund is eligible to come back to the big club. That's why Roseanne, who a lot of people were upset he got sent down.
Yeah.
You know, so he got an opportunity to come back. He played with McLeod and Quinn. I might have been tempted to throw him out there with Thompson and Tuck. I think I would have been more than tempted, quite honestly, instead of Peyton Krebs.
Belleville is a few hours east of Toronto. Not as far as Ottawa, I think, but
yeah,
maybe
they
a
said it was
drive.
a 3-hour car ride from Belleville to Toronto. I have seen it because, as you know, I take the train now to Ottawa and Montreal, and Belleville is a stop along
in between.
the way
All right.
to Montreal, because I go, oh yeah, Belleville, the Hammers play them.
Maybe it's beautiful this time of year.
Stop there. I didn't get out, but yes, I know we were stopping in Belleville.
I am taking a trip next weekend with my son to Vermont, and then we're going to Toronto at the back end of the trip, and we're going to drive back through Canada, just because I think it would be different and interesting. And I think it might even be shorter to cross up Clarkson or St. Lawrence.
Yep.
People don't understand, people who live in Detroit and Buffalo do, but when I tell people, I'm driving to Detroit, and I'm actually only going to be in the United States for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And most of it is from my house to the Peace Bridge.
Right.
10 minutes of it is that.
Right.
5 minutes is it because once you cross in Detroit, you're in downtown Detroit.
And, yes, go ahead, sorry.
So
I'm excited to say something else.
At the end of the day, you're in Canada for all but 15 minutes of the drive. And people are like, well, how can that be? because going over the lake is a lot shorter than going under it.
And that drive into Detroit from Windsor, you're actually going north, which makes that one of two places in the continental U.S. where the U.S. is north of Canada.
We had a girl.
Grand Island's the other
Grand Island, Beaver Island is the other one.
Beaver Island.
I'll be quick with this because I know you guys got to go. But we had a girl who worked when we had a news department at WGR. I'm not going to say her name. I don't want to embarrass her. She went to a assignment around Hamilton, Ontario. And she was gone, and she was gone, and she was gone. And everybody, where is she? She finally calls. She got turned around leaving the assignment. She was about 10 minutes out of Detroit.
Oh.
She had no idea.
Tough one there.
And I knew she had a bad sense of direction anyway. And she had no idea until it's like, why am I not home yet? She stopped and said, oh, yeah, the border's just like 10, 15 minutes away that way. The Detroit border.
The Ambassador Bridge. She was going west. O-U-E-S-T.
Yeah. I felt bad for her.
All right, Paul. We'll hear from you in a few hours here with Brian.
Take care, guys.
All right. Paul will be along with pregame with Brian starting at 9 o'clock. His appearance with us here on WGR brought to you by Equitable Advisors. Planning for your future is about more than just money. Let Equitable be your guide. And by Relax Honda. Relax, we got this.
Paul not impressed with the Grand Island trivia. He had no time for it.
He
went into a story.
He wanted to tell that story.
Sal Capaccio with us earlier with the Bills and an important injury update today. That's coming up next here on WGR.